The MEAC SWAC Challenge coming your way. Southern University with game faces on, and Florida A&M trying to stay heads up. It's black college football in the Magic City. We ask fans entering Legion Field, what does HBCU football mean to them?
HBCUs, especially when it comes to football, it's a big rivalry.
Pageantry and second of all, fellowship.
You're going to see tradition, you're going to see, in fact, we have family here. One of them graduated from Southern, one of them graduated from FAMU.
They're the best bands and the best shows anywhere in the country.
We're going to kick some butt, for one thing. Then we're going to eat harder. Then we're going to come back out here and party. That's all you can do, right? Right. All right.
HBCU football kicking off in grand fashion this afternoon. Here in Birmingham, two historical powers renewing a rivalry. It's the SWAC's Southern University Jaguars and the MEAC's Rattlers of Florida A&M. Hello, everyone, and welcome to legendary Legion Field. My name is Eric Collins. Well, basically, over the last 2 years, what has been decided on this Legion Field turf has been bragging rights in the country's two Division I HBCU football playing conferences. So far, it has been the MEAC doing all the bragging. This time around, it'll be Florida A&M taking on the Southern University Jaguars in a rivalry that dates back to 1941. Now, anyone who has seen the MEAC SWAC Challenge in years past knows that it's not just what goes on between the lines, but what goes on outside the lines as well that makes this so special. With more on that, let's send it to my partner, Jay Walker.
Thanks, Eric. Now, everybody knows it's going to be a great game inside the stadium, but anybody knows black college football knows it's more than just a game. It's all the events that take place around the game, from the step show last night to the parties, and oh yes, the tailgate. And trust me, the folks down here in Alabama, whether you're from FAMU or Southern University, they know how to throw a tailgate. Let me test the product. Oh, delicious. And also, we know it wouldn't be a black college game without the bands. And for more on the bands, let's go to my partner, Melissa Knowles.
This year's MEAC SWAC Challenge is an HBCU tradition that not only pits two black college football programs against each other, but perhaps an even bigger rivalry exists between the two schools' marching bands. Now, Florida A&M's Marching 100 has an unconventional approach to getting on the field. The Rattlers come in their signature snake-like formation. Also, Florida A&M's Marching 100 just performed with Prince at Super Bowl 41 in Miami. But you know, the Rattlers are not the only ones with bragging rights. Southern's Human Jukebox has also made 6 Super Bowl appearances. They've even been voted the #1 marching band in America by USA Today. So it looks like we're all in for a treat today at halftime with a little informal battle of the bands. Eric?
Well, there is reason to sing and dance. The HBCU football season coming your way here in Birmingham. Performances by two of the best bands in the land, and a look back at the legacy of the late Eddie Robinson, as well as a celebration of some of the best that have ever come out of HBCU football.
Before I started college courses, I charted these courses.
See, we're on course, on track.
Before I got my electronics business underway, I got these underway.
Bridge, this is main control.
The Navy got me the money I need for college.
And gave me an accelerated course to my business.
Before I start my own practice out there, I'll get the practice I need here in the Navy.
Navy, accelerate your life.
Attraction was
The MEAC SWAC Challenge is brought to you by the U.S. Navy. Navy, accelerate your life. Beyond February, all states' commitment to your community every day. The Buffalo Rock Company, proud regional sponsors of the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And by Orville Redenbacher Popcorn. You'll like it better, or my name isn't Orville Redenbacher. Overlooking Birmingham, Alabama is Falcon. That is the world's largest cast iron statue. Vulcan Park, featuring spectacular panoramic views of Birmingham and the surrounding areas. And we're hoping that some of those fantastic views take place here at legendary Legion Field. This is been the venue for all 3 years of the MEAC SWAC Challenge. This year, it will be Florida A&M representing the MEAC against Southern University representing the SWAC. And each of the first 2 meetings, the MEAC coming up victorious in this challenge.
And I think one of the things that the conferences are starting to really get involved in this football game. They want to win this football game. They're starting to build a rivalry within the rivalry. It's very exciting. It's a great college football atmosphere.
And we're off. HBCU football coming your way. Kickoff returned by the Florida A&M Rattlers. That's Phil Sylvester. And Sylvester is stoned at about the 30-yard line. That is where Florida A&M will begin with the football. A return of 18 yards for the freshman from Miami. Familiar name around Florida A&M. FAMU now with a second-generational quarterback. It's Albert Chester II. His father, of course, was phenomenal in the late 70s, but the son not too bad himself. Preseason All-MEAC first team for Albert Chester. There he is wearing number 2. Last year, 18 touchdown passes, just 5 interceptions. Sylvester is the man in the backfield with Chester, and he has the football. First carry of the season. No, a little pitch out left side. It's Adrian Smith. Little razzle-dazzle early, fooled me. And Adrian Smith, a good gain on first down, a pickup of close to 10. This is who the skill position players are for the Rattlers. You just saw Sylvester in the backfield. He is a true freshman. Folsom is the fullback. William Smith and Hayward are the wide receivers. Quickly, no huddle offense, and this time it is Sylvester who has the football, who was chopped down at the line of scrimmage by Michael Williams. Offensive line for Florida A&M. This is one of the strengths for them. Left tackle is a very good one, Justin Delancey. First team All-MEAC. Collins, Akibla, Wallace, and Okafor also on that front wall. We're going to see this all game long. No huddle offense from Florida A&M. Making changes at the line. Some of the things you can do when you've got a senior quarterback. Out of the gun, Chester calls his own number and wiggles through the middle of the line and picks up 4, maybe 5 yards. Defensively, for the Southern University Jaguars, they had all sorts of problems a year ago. It's King, Charles Selders, and Lands up front. Lands is their best pass rusher. Linebacking core, Gary Chapman, sophomore Alan Ball in the middle, and Jonathan Malveaux on the outside. Defensive backs, that may be the strength for them. Cornerbacks, F.A. Osa Wimwinze and Michael Williams. And in the defensive backfield, their captain is their safety, Jarmal George, the SWAC's Defensive Player of the Year heading into this season. He's a fun one to watch, wearing number 2 for Southern. Chester, his first throw is complete across the 45-yard line. With that reception, it's Taj Jenkins, his tight end.
You know, I think one of the marks for a quarterback is the accuracy. You know, you talk about how important accuracy is to a quarterback. On that last pass there by Chester, had he been able to hit the wide receiver in stride, he could have run and picked up the first down. Inaccurate pass, wide receiver had to slow down for the ball. FAMU's forced to punt.
So the first punt of the game coming your way. And this may be advantage Florida A&M. They have one of the better punters in all of 1AA football. It's Wesley Taylor with his first punt of the year. Ronald Wade is going to let it bounce, and it is going to be downed at the 10-yard line. A punt of 43 yards, and the battle of the field position already being won by the Rattlers of FAMU.
That's the X factor that the coaching staff from FAMU called Wesley Taylor. He's the X factor, and great job there. Put a little touch on the pitching wedge there inside the 10-yard line.
Here's Bryant Lee, his first year as the exclusive starter for Southern University. Did start 3 games a year ago. Sophomore out of Butte, Louisiana. 6'2", 195 pounds. Last year they had so many injuries at the quarterback spot, they ended up starting 3 different signal callers throughout the course of the season. On the carry, good running room on first down. This is a big gainer for Kendrick Smith. All the way down the right side, he's got a chance. Touchdown, Southern. 90 yards, can you believe it?
What a way to start off the 2007 football season if you're a Jaguars fan. Darren Coates, the senior, showing he's got the home run capabilities to finish off that run.
Darren Coates, just 1 touchdown. touchdown and 119 yards a year ago. On his first carry, he equals his touchdown mark and picks up 90 yards to his credit.
And that's one of those pleasant surprises, because when we asked the coaches about Darren Coates, they said he was dependable. They never used words like speed back. They just said he was dependable. He learned how to get the job done there.
Josh Durant, extra point, no good. So the freshman can't add point number 7 to the total, but 6 go the way of the Jaguars, courtesy of number 43. Darren Coates, how about that? Darren Coates quickly gets into the secondary, and 90 yards later, we've got a 6-0 lead for the Jaguars in this year's edition of the MEAC SWAC Challenge. I want it. Nice. Well, someone is paying attention during those offseason workouts. Darren Coates, looks like this may be his year. The senior ripping up 90 yards and a touchdown for Southern, the first offensive play of the game for the Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean, what a great start for Southern University. We talked about the emotion that was riding high in Pete Richardson and everything that's been going on down there with the Jaguar program. They're off to a fantastic start in the 2007 college football season.
Last year on the season, Southern averaged 118 yards on the ground per game. They've already got 90 through one play.
That's what you have to do. I mean, the key is how do you improve on your weaknesses there, and I think that's what Southern did. The surprising thing is Southern University is a much smaller football team than Florida A&M, so the question mark for them was going to be, would they have the ability to have a productive running game, and I think they answered that question in a hurry.
We're less than 3 minutes into this one, and number 17, Josh Durant, is already kicking off for the second time. Well, maybe not. Yeah, Jay, we were talking to the coaching staff from Southern earlier this week, and they were talking about they were worried about that offensive line up front. They were young, they're inexperienced, and they were injured quite a bit through preseason.
Yeah, I mean, they're beat up, and they don't have a lot of depth, so anytime they can get the home run, long, big play capability, they really appreciate that. I mean, they were so thin on the offensive line that they had to convert a tight end to a tackle. And so that tells you that they were just really, really light. Anytime you've got a tight end playing tackle for you, you know you're not a big offensive lineman. If they can continue to do effective zone blocking, they can have a good running game.
Here's the kickoff. It's going to be Philip Sylvester. His second return. Starts at the 18, goes left, and gets out to the 35-yard line.
You know, when we talk about wide zone blocking, is take a look at the offensive line for Southern. Everybody's going to step to the right. This is zone blocking at its best. Everybody in the offensive line is going to slide to the right, and Darren Coates had the patience. Once that gap opened up, he took off with the senior leadership. So the key with zone blocking, you have to have patient running style. And when the hole is there, you have to attack the crease. That was a perfect job of zone blocking by the Southern Jaguar offensive line.
And you can get away with a smaller offensive line with the zone blocking technique.
Quickness. It's all about quickness compared to strength.
And in motion, Sylvester, his second handoff of the game, shakes the first tackler, and the freshman gets out across the 40-yard line before Joseph Selders brings him down. Pickup of 5 on first down.
And they're very excited at FAMU down in Tallahassee about Philip Sylvester. I mean, they were saying he's going to be the next great running back here at FAMU. He's going to be a 4-year starter, obviously, and they think he's got the ability to take it the distance.
Chester, pass is complete. First down and more. Out across the 45-yard line. Adrian Smith, his second grab. Pickup of 8 yards, and the sticks will move. FAMU, they're going to spend the majority of their time on offense close to the line of scrimmage, ready to call a play at any moment. They feel like since they have a senior quarterback, they can make these adjustments on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the benefits of when you've got senior leadership. You can get away with certain things.
And off, Sylvester. And another good, strong run for the freshman. A pickup of 5 on first down. Head coach for Florida A&M, Reuben Carter, he knows he's got a good one. And the freshman Sylvester, this is now season number 3 for Reuben Carter. 13 wins, 9 losses. Last year, a 7-4 record. They finished tied for 4th in the MEAC. Of course, Hampton was the champion for the third consecutive year in MEAC. They've basically been running the table.
It seems like they've been MEAC champions for decades now, and they've only been in the conference for 10 years. So hats off to the Pirates. Joe Taylor doing a great job on the program, and Coach Ruben Carter trying to see if he can get the Rattlers to join.
Now, this looks like Sylvester is going to be a workhorse this year. Gets another first down before Jonathan Malvo can jump on his back and bring him down. In case you're wondering, A&M is located in Tallahassee. Founded back in 1887. They had a 4A just a couple of years ago, thinking about that they wanted to go to Division 1A, and now they're back in what's being called the Football Championship Subdivision, which was formerly 1AA. They're happy to be back in the MEAC. FAMU. Four receivers in the game, and now a flag flies in the defensive secondary.
Prior to this delay game, number 2, offense, 5 yards remains, first down.
We just saw Charles Williams, who is today's referee, with the call of a delay game against Ruben Carter's FAMU Rattlers.
And that's one of the things you have to be careful of. You know, in this field, this is a huge stadium that you're playing in, but the clocks are in peculiar locations. I mean, you have to search really hard to find them. And when you're a quarterback underneath the center, you've got to know where the play clock is. And I think Albert Chester hasn't located where the play clock is and called that delayed game.
Chester with time, slings it out, passes high through the fingertips of Derek Williams, the senior from Port St. Lucie, Florida.
I mean, as you take a look at where the play clock is, you can't see it there. It's not traditional, but it's way over in the left corner there. So unless you know what you're looking for, you're going to have difficulty finding that. A lot of many quarterbacks get there and they don't pay attention to it. They just assume it's going to be right behind the goalpost. But here at this stadium, it's tucked away in the corner.
Well, there's a late flag on the field, then it's going to be a holding call against FAMU. And that's going to march the Rattlers back even further. After crossing the 50-yard line, they've since retreated back to the 47. First down in a bunch. A late handoff to the freshman Sylvester, and again he gets into the defensive backfield before he's brought down. Jonathan Malvo, another tackle, but a pickup of 6.
I like Sylvester. He's explosive, but right now what I'm seeing is difficulty for Southern University controlling the line of scrimmage. Sylvester's getting through the hole, and it's 5 or 6 yards downfield before somebody gets a finger on him. So if you're Southern University, Coach Richardson has got to be concerned the fact that FAMU has been able to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And again, Chester gets his team to the line and then looks to the sideline for instruction. He spit it out left side. That may be a live ball. No, incomplete. Looking for Jarvis Funderburg. It was a forward pass, and it's incomplete. So it'll now be 3rd down.
You know, this is this new little bubble screen. Nothing but an extended handoff, I like to call it, but it's got to be an accurate pass. See, and that one there, that was bad timing. You had a wide receiver that was still running backwards. I think Chester's got to actually take his time in delivering that ball there, and that very easily could have been considered a lateral. They were fortunate the official didn't see it that way.
Greg Arline checks in the game in the backfield, replacing the freshman Philip Sylvester. Maybe Arline in there to pass protect for Chester on this obvious passing down. It's 3rd down and 18. They need to get to the 28-yard line. And whistles before the play.
And what you're seeing right now is, you know, this is just rusty. This is not being in game situations. You've got penalties.
False start, number 75, offense, 5 yards, remains, 3rd down.
Hey, Jay, in terms of full disclosure, you played in the MEAC. You're one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the MEAC when you were quarterback for the Howard Bison. Your senior year, was it totally different than your junior year in terms of your leadership and what you did on the field?
Yes, because I knew what to expect. You know, when you go there into the game plan, you know your opponents more, you know the coverage you're going to see, and you want the coach to put more on your shoulders. So my attitude was, Coach, let's expand the playbook. We don't have to limit the playbook. Let's expand it because I feel comfortable with every play in the arsenal.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 75, offense, 5 yards, remains, third down.
Yeah, Reuben Carter's team, they're on a full-on retreat. They may not stop until they get to their own end zone.
Until they get down to Montgomery, right? But, you know, and this is what happens. You can spend a month in training camp, but there's nothing like game situations. I mean, the timing is not there. The cadence, it sounds a little bit different. You have an opponent you got to concentrate on, so you're thinking a lot. This is what you typically see early in the season. The key for FAMU is when can they overcome their own mishaps.
4 receivers in the game. Chester with time wants to throw the big ball. Pass deep down the middle of the field. Nothing doing. There was contact, but no flag. Michael Williams on the coverage alongside Derek Williams.
I know you never expect to convert 4th and 28, but had Chester had the ability, he would have seen wide receiver Willie Hayward open on the right side. You should be able to see it here on a 20-yard dig route there. That was one there he just had to look, but he got caught looking at the pass rush and wasn't able to complete the pass.
So Wesley Taylor will come in and punt this away on 4th and 28. His last punt was down to the 10-yard line. Through to 43 yards. High spiraling kick. Wade fields it at the 6. And Wade makes the first man miss. Ball loose on the ground. And it looks like FAMU may have it. Dangerous play by Wade to field it inside the 10, and he loses it.
Opportunity not. Great special teams play here. He's going to make the first man miss, but what a great hit put on here by the FAMU defender. Wow. Helmet right on the football. And I played plenty of football, and once that helmet gets on the ball, generally it comes out 90% of the time.
Michael McMillan forces the fumble. The recovery, Anthony Johnson. And FAMU, they're in business right now. Philip Sylvester back in the game at tailback. Ball is spotted at the 13-yard line. Golden opportunity for the Rattlers. And Chester loses the football. And the Rattlers recover. Johnny on the spot is the senior Willie Hayward. That could have been disastrous.
I wonder if Chester ever actually got the football. Take a look there. Wow, he never got it from center. You know, I think the center there got caught leaning. Kwame Kiba was leaning forward and so anxious to get off on the run block. Forgot to deliver the bread.
Out of the gun. Chester dreaming big, back to the end zone, incomplete, looking for Hayward, and a flag comes down.
How can you call pass interference when the ball is 10 yards out of bounds? Clearly uncatchable. So you've got to pick that flag up.
Defense. Ball goes on the 2-yard line, automatic first down.
Contact is contact, but it was almost as if Chester was throwing this ball away. I mean, take a look. Willie Hayward is running out of the end zone, and look where the ball lands. I mean, that ball lands 6 yards out of bounds.
Well, they say that Willie Hayward has high jumped 6 feet 10 inches in the past.
In order to get that ball, he's going to have to high jump 8.5 feet, not 6 feet.
The whistle went against F.A. Oso Wimwinze. Ball on the 2-yard line. Inside handoff goes to Sylvester. And he spins down inside the 1. Ball comes loose late, but it was blown dead, I believe. And now they're going to say that Southern has recovered the loose ball. The whistle had not blown, and the Jaguars get the ball inside their own 1-yard line.
Freshman mistake there. One thing Philip Sylvester's got to learn, once you're running inside the trenches, as you get closer to the goal line, things happen quicker. Protect the football first, try and score second.
Well, in case you're wondering, here in the football championship subdivision, there is no instant replay during the regular season. So The ball is going to go over to Southern. Golden opportunity goes by the wayside. The freshman, Philip Sylvester, loses it. And Southern, they have the football. The Dean of SWAC coaches, Pete Richardson, now in his 15th year at Southern. His team just caught a break, fumbled at the 1-yard line. His team recovers, and they now have the football at the 20-yard line. Their second possession of the game. Their first possession lasted 1 play and went 90 yards. This one's going backwards. A loss of 5, maybe 6 yards. Brian Threet dropped for a loss.
And let's take a look at this fumble here. Very questionable call. You'll see that little orange helmet going there. Well, that's the helmet of Philip Sylvester. Was he on the ground before the ball came out? Looks like the helmet was on the ground. I actually think that he was down, but it was such a bang-bang play. The official had to make a call, and Southern was the beneficiary of the official's decision.
No challenges, no replay system in the football championship subdivision. Little screen, left side, and 2 consecutive plays have gone backwards. Gerard Landry with the catch. He's dropped for a 7-yard loss. Curtis Holcomb, the freshman from Miami, with the stop. So talk about extremes. Southern, they've had 3 offensive plays, a 90-yard touchdown run, a -5 running play, and a -7 passing play.
They better stick with the 90-yard plays, I would think, to have better success.
Ball placed at the 6-yard line now. Little design run for the quarterback. Brian Lee keeps it himself, goes left side, and gets basically back to the original line of scrimmage. A pickup of 14. Jason Beach, one of the best safeties in 1AA football, knocks him down. And it's going to bring up a 4th down, and they're going to call it 8 yards. So obviously Southern, they're going to have to kick it away.
Both teams, I mean, who would have thought with all the excitement we've seen in this game, FAMU got the ball inside the 10-yard line, couldn't punch it in. Southern came with a 90-yard run, and since then the offense went backwards. And yet we've only 6 minutes left in the first quarter still, so both teams are shaky. They need to settle down and start playing solid football. Right now they're playing very sloppy football.
Gregory Clark on this return gets it across the 45 and is brought down by a host of Jaguar tacklers after a return of 7 yards. Just getting started here. A little bit over halfway home through the first quarter. We're at historic Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, with Melissa Knowles and Jay Walker, the former great Howard quarterback. I'm Eric Collins. Southern wearing the home white uniforms. FAMU, they're wearing the green. This is the 3rd annual MEAC SWAC Challenge. The first 2 go-rounds have went to the MEAC. South Carolina State winners in 2005, and last year, Hampton victorious. New quarterback in the game. It's number 16, Leon Camel. Just 5 feet 6 inches tall, and he almost throws a pick. That ball should have been grabbed, but it is dropped. Missed opportunity there. Gary Chapman, the linebacker, had it and then lost it.
You know, when you've got a quarterback like Leon Campbell, you mentioned that he's only 5'6", but he is a senior, and he's got the senior leadership. Talk with the offensive coordinator, Bob Cole. When Campbell's in the game, we've got to move the pocket. He's a great passer, but because of his height limitations, he's got to throw on the run and get outside of the pocket.
Camel, delayed handoff, gives it to Arline. Greg Arline crosses the 50 and is brought down. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short. This is by design that Leon Camel is in the game. He has bided his time and actually started some in years past. Actually started a game against the Miami Hurricanes a year ago. Talk about a baptism by fire. He's from one of the best high school programs in the country. He went to Glades Central High School in Belle Glades, Florida. A lot of fantastic players have come out of there. Third down, Camel flips it out, pass incomplete, looking for Sylvester. Good pass rush defensively. Vincent Lands got in Camel's face and made him fire it out before he wanted to.
And that was the reason for the incomplete pass. Vincent Land coming from Camel's backside. He didn't see him coming, and right when he was setting up to make the throw, Lands put the boom on him. Southern continues to frustrate the Rattler offense.
So far today, Wesley Taylor has averaged 46 yards and 2 punts. This time gets up a low line. And the ball is muffed. Muffed and down. It looks like football. Chad Harris dove on top it, and it looks as if it's going to be Rattler football. There is a flag down on the field on the other side of the 50-yard line. We'll have to sort this out before we determine who's got the football.
Wow, I mean, this is just early in the season, making these mistakes. You've got to fair catch the ball. One, you shouldn't catch the ball on the 10-yard line and inside the 20. Let it bounce. Maybe it'll go into the end zone, but everybody wants to be a hero when you play on national TV, and he just had room to make that catch. And looks like the sloppy play continues for the Jaguars.
This is going to be a big call here.
Foul, number 27, on the defense, roughing the kicker. That penalty's decline, first down.
I think he meant.
Just inside the 10-yard line.
Look at the replay. Here's the roughing the kicker. Just took a poor angle.
Oh, yeah. So, FAMU going to keep possession of the football. They're now inside the 10-yard line. This time they were here, they fumbled it away. Campbell keeps it himself, tries the right side. Touchdown, Rattlers!
Misdirection by the FAMU offense. Hard play fake to the left to Philip Sylvester, and Campbell showed the mobility. Take a look at the hard play fake here on the run. That's the sell. You got two Jaguars chasing the football. Campbell being elusive, sneaking into the end zone, showing that quarterbacks are athletes too, Eric. I like that.
Used to do that at Howard, I guess.
Well, you know, it's a little tougher to move around 6'4" than it is 5'6".
Chance to take the lead. Wesley Taylor, no problem. There's a reason why he is all MEAC. He's one of the best kickers you're going to see in the entire country. And it is a 7-6 lead for FAMU. They take advantage of a muffed punt, and Leon Campbell scores the Rattlers' first touchdown of 2007.
It's an environment, you know, and it's got everything that everybody in college likes. You know, I like the barbecue. So, you know, I'm a tailgate guy. You know, you're the intellectual guy. You like the college fair. You know, and Melissa, she likes the step show. So there's something for everybody down here. It's just a great time.
Kickoff. Ball will be fielded at 6-yard line by Albert Turner. And Turner's got room across the 30. Flag down on the field. Turner down at the 37 after return up 30 yards. Let's see if it'll hold up.
FAMU was very fortunate that Turner didn't take that return to the house. He had a crease in the middle of the field. You know, you hate to keep bringing it over and up, bringing it up over and over again, but first game, these teams are playing very sloppy, and I think that's why we're seeing so many turnovers and so many big plays.
Half the distance to the goal, first down.
So it goes against Southern. Well, after all the college football games are played this weekend, ESPN Classic picks the best game from the ESPN family of networks and gives you a second chance to see it. The college football game of the week airs tomorrow on ESPN Classic at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com.
Who wants it more? Two apiece, so they're even in the turnover battle, and the score would be reflective of that had Southern not missed an extra point earlier, but you've got to protect the football.
Darren Coates, 90-yard run, his first time with the football, gets it a second time and is absolutely hammered. Carlos Roll met him with bad intentions and drops him on the spot.
You know, that's a defensive coordinator's favorite thing. When you've got defensive linemen making tackles, that means you're controlling the line of scrimmage. And take a look here at this hit. Roll just releases and gets all 6'1", 235 pounds. I'm not believing that 235 on the media guy. He looked like he beefed up during the offseason, but that's a lineman's dream to catch a running back behind the line of scrimmage and just have the ability to lay on him.
Carlos Roll doesn't look much like his cousins, Samari Roll and Antwell Roll, who are defensive backs in the NFL. He's a big boy. And this time the pocket is collapsed, and another negative play. Lyman Reed gets into the backfield and gets his first sack of the season.
Football can be so sophisticated, but yet so simple sometimes. The team that controls the line of scrimmage generally wins a football game. And take a look here, no blitz. You're talking just 4 people rushing with a simple stunt. If you've got 5 linemen blocking 4 defensive linemen, you should win every time. You shouldn't get to the quarterback. But if you're not controlling the line of scrimmage, you're in trouble.
Lee wants a bunch. Pass is incomplete, looking for Gerard Landry. And the punt team will have to come on for Southern. Good defensive stand. FAMU, the Rattlers, force a 3-and-out.
That was a great job. I mean, front 4 for Florida A&M did a good job of controlling that series there. Coach Pete Richardson got to start thinking of some ways. Hey, what can we do to get them off? It's a misdirection. And, you know, things aren't easy down in Jaguar land. When you talk about Coach Richardson, you would think a coach that's been there for 15 years would be revered and honored throughout the conference. Well, a little turmoil down in Baton Rouge between the Jaguar faithful and the head coach. And we'll talk about that a little bit more as the broadcast goes on.
And a lot of people think he needs to win this year, or this may be his final season with Southern. Gregory Clark is going to field. Starts left, goes right, ball loose. Loose ball, who's got it? It's going to be Southern football. Southern, they pick up about 45 yards in field position as a fumble gives them the football.
He's trying to sell the hard wall to the left, so he overcommits to the left, tries to get back to the right where the wall is, and there was a Jaguar defender waiting for him, and Johnny on the spot, overcommitted to the left side, trying to get back right, and got caught in no man's land, going against the grain, and bad things happen when you try and do too much in the game of football.
So both teams have been very sloppy with the football so far in this contest. The exception of that 90-yard run, it's the second best play of the game for Southern. Brian Threet with the carry. Pick up of 5 yards on first down.
Threet, the starting fullback for Southern University. So I think what Southern's going to try and do is they're going to try and pound the ball. I mean, they've tried to attack the edge and had some success early. Looks like FAMU has made the adjustment. And now Southern's trying to just pound the football, keeping Threet in the game to try and make up for the lack of size they have going with a big backfield.
Second down, quarterback keeps the football, and he is brought down. Loss of a yard, maybe 2. Well, Jay, you've been around black college football for a while now. Your thoughts on Pete Richardson, who has done so much for Southern University. Should he be kind of dangling in the wind right now after 2 non-winning seasons?
I think you have to give every coach a chance. You know, you're going to have down cycles. I mean, this is 1AA football. You just can't go out and recruit every year. And you have a down year recruiting and some scholarship players don't go your way, then you're in trouble. I think he doesn't get the appreciation that he deserves. I mean, they act like they were really winning year in and year out before Coach Richardson got there.
Pass incomplete, looking for Landry.
He brought the swagger back. You take a look at what he's done at Southern University. I mean, wow, take a look at that. 156 wins, 5 SWAC championships. And, you know, they weren't a powerhouse.
And he's beaten Grambling each and every year. The Bayou Classic is such a big deal. He's 11-3 in 14 games against Grambling State.
Yeah, so I think he deserves the pass. He should have a contract extension. And if he wants to leave, then that's another thing. But as a university, you've got to like what he's done. I mean, he's brought pride to the program.
But to be fair, attendance has been down in the last couple of years at Southern University football games. They have had 2 consecutive non-winning seasons. At the end of the day, no matter what level of football it is, you have to win football games. And if the thinking is Southern should be winning more football games than they are, you can't blame them if they wanted to go in a different direction. His contract does end at the end of the year.
I agree, but be careful what you wish for, because you just may get it. You know, if you bring another coach in there that's not used to coaching in the SWAC conference, and let's not forget, that Grambling monster is not going to stay down for long. You know, you still get measured by how you do in the Bayou Classic. You saw his record in the Bayou Classic, phenomenal. Is a new coach going to come in there and have more success in the Bayou Classic? I don't know, but I think Coach Richardson's one of the best coaches in 1AA football, and you hate to see a coach like this have to end his legacy potentially on a bad note.
And another contributing factor you have to remember, last couple of years have not been normal years in the Bayou State. Hurricane Katrina affected all the programs in Louisiana. 2005 was basically a lost season because of Hurricane Katrina. And last year, a lot of his players still displaced. A lot of things still going on with the Southern University program. So if you wanted to cut him a wide berth, that would be one reason why maybe you'd think about it.
I mean, I think so. I don't think any other black college in America had to go through what Coach Richardson had to go through over the past 2 years with Katrina. I mean, the landscape of Baton Rouge has changed tremendously because of their location to New Orleans. And I think that, the fact is, can he coach? Yes. Does he still want to coach? Yes. So it should be, to me, it's a no-brainer. He should be the head coach of Southern as long as he wants to stay there, unless they take years of losing season. But you're talking about going 5-6. I mean, it's not like he went 2-9. I mean, he's borderline, but they'll have a breakout year, I believe.
And we talked to him earlier this week, and he said he's coaching somewhere next year.
I like that comment.
All right, 1st down and 10. Rattlers of Florida A&M have the football. Ball on the 14-yard line. Leon Camel still in at quarterback, and I think Leon took a little bit too much time.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that. What they're trying to do is to check with me at the line of scrimmage. And the difference between college check with me and pro check with me, as a quarterback in the NFL, we come out, we have 2 plays called. You go from one to the other. What they're doing is coming out, getting one look, then trying to check with the coach on the sideline, signal that play in, then get it to the offensive line. And they're just running out of time.
Camel wants to throw from his own end zone. Deep ball, has a man. Incomplete. Hayward had it and then dropped it. Almost a huge gainer for the Rattlers. Williams was the defender, but Hayward did have a step on him.
Yeah, Hayward got by him. The one thing about Willie Hayward, he's got great size, 6'4", 200 pounds, and he's a long stepper. So once he gets going, he can fly by you. And this is one that, he's got a half with the DB draped on him. Michael Williams playing coverage, and over-the-shoulder catch, almost pulled it in for a big play. But football's a game of inches, and Willie Hayward showing he's got the vertical game in his repertoire as well.
And Willie Hayward, he's a second-generation Rattler. His father went to FAMU and actually played in the marching band. He was part of the Marching 100, which is such a big deal around Florida A&M. We will see the Marching 100 at halftime of today's game. So he's got FAMU football coursing through his veins.
How do you have Marching 100 when they clearly have 300 band members there? I mean, that's a big band.
Obviously, no one's a math major.
That is a huge band. They and Bethune-Cookman have the largest bands in Black College, and well worth the price of admission.
We're going to see them strutting their stuff at halftime. Don't go anywhere. Last time they performed on this big of a stage was at the Super Bowl a year ago, working with Prince down in Miami. And a flag is going to fly in the defensive backfield. This could be a big call if it goes against Southern. This will really allow FAMU to get out of a hole if it's going to be a defensive penalty against the Jaguars.
That's a mental breakdown. I mean, you've got to know when you've got 3rd and 7 or 8, you've got to keep everybody in front of them. No need to pick up a cheap penalty and give Florida A&M a cheap 1st down.
58, defense, 10 yards, automatic, 1st down.
And that's a huge break and a mental boo-boo for Pete Richardson's bunch. They're going to give FAMU a 1st down on what had been a 3rd and a bunch.
And that's what happens. Linebackers get caught in space and they see people running around and they just like to hit people. I mean, linebackers like to hit, but the problem is after you get 5 yards across down the field, you can't touch them.
Man in motion, Javaris Knight, left side, freshman. Philip Sylvester brought down after a short gain, pickup of 2. Jay, what do you read into this? We talked to the coaching staff for FAMU, and they said of Philip Sylvester, they said the offensive line, they like to block for number 30.
Well, I think all offensive linemen like blocking for somebody that can make you look good. The thing I like about Philip Sylvester is he won the job in camp. He came in as a freshman, he outworked everybody, so he's got something special about him. And anytime you've got a back that's got that extra giddy up in their step, offensive linemen love him. And I think that's a compliment because most freshman runners don't know how to utilize their speed.
Pass is incomplete, looking for Isaac West. Good defensive play there to knock the ball away by Efe Osa Wimwinze.
Say it again, Eric.
I've been doing this, practicing it for 4 months, man. Got that one figured out. F.A. Osa Winwimze, senior from Dallas, transfer from Arkansas Pine Bluff.
I mean, and I like him. The previous play, he came up and did a good job stuffing the run. And with that size, 6'1", 185 pounds, and he's a cornerback. Those are hard to find. So he's one of those guys the NFL will take a look at, too. If he can make the stopwatch dance in the 4-4 range, he's got a chance.
Pass is complete. Campbell hits his man. Getting close to first down yards is Todd Jenkins, and the tight end is upended about 2 yards short, and another flag comes down on the field. Southern University band getting ready. The human jukebox, they're called. Eager to see what this penalty call is going to be. They may need to put new beads in those whistles at halftime.
They're getting a workout, but you know, hey, it's TV. I always thought whenever officials get an opportunity to get on TV, everybody wants to say hi, Mom.
Charles Williams is today's referee. He's in the middle of that crew wearing the white hat, sorting this out.
I talk to the officials before the game, and I tell every officiating crew I go to before the game, let them play. Obviously, they did not take heed to my advice, so it tells you what kind of influence I have down here in Birmingham.
On a defense, 10-yard penalty, first down. Reset the game clock to 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
So on this drive, the best offensive play for FAMU has been the defensive penalty against Southern. They picked up 2 first downs that way.
And they're moving the ball. Not the way you draw it up in training camp, but they are moving the football. I mean, it just tells you the sloppy play. Southern has not been able to get a break here in this first quarter.
All right, 3 ticks remaining here in the first quarter. Ball's going to be spotted at the 37-yard line. Pete Richardson looking on. Trying to figure something out. First offensive play of his season, a 90-yard touchdown run, and ever since then, the offense has really struggled. Right now, FAMU trying to close out the first quarter. And that'll do it. 3 seconds tick off. And we've played 15 minutes here at the 3rd MEAC SWAC Challenge. The pageantry of it all. We've already have offensive fireworks. A 90-yard touchdown run for Southern. It was answered by a short touchdown scamper from FAMU. It's a 1-point game, 1 quarter in the books.
ESPN Classics Contender Marathon, Monday at noon Eastern.
For 57 years, Eddie Robinson served as head coach for Grambling State University, winning an unprecedented 408 games.
Not only was Eddie Robinson a great coach, but he was also a great man and a great American.
We've joined the Friends of Eddie Robinson Museum to create a landmark that honors and continues his legacy.
Please join us in saluting Coach Robinson by dialing 866-WINS-408 or logging into www.robinsonmuseum.com.
The marching 100 doing a little tune-up. As we move into the second quarter, we will see the marching 100 in their full regalia at halftime. We'll also see the human jukebox, the band for Southern at halftime. Don't go anywhere. Maybe the best activity is going to be at intermission.
And I cover many of these games, and I don't think ever in my broadcasting career have I ever been just solely excited about a halftime. I mean, these are the best, 2 of the best bands you'll ever see. So
the best or of the best?
I'm not going to get myself in trouble like that. 2 of the best.
FAMU with the football. Leon Campbell looks like just kind of a busted play going nowhere. They're going to lose a bunch. And it's going to bring up second down and probably about 17 yards. Well, Eddie Robinson passed away earlier this spring. Longtime icon, of course, at Grambling State University. At the time of his retirement, he was college football's all-time winningest coach. It's kind of a difficult year for the Grambling family and all of black college football with the passing of Eddie Robinson.
Black college football in America, I think what he doesn't get credit for was he was a great American. he would give speeches on love this country. He loved the United States of America. He loved Grambling University, and he shaped many young men's lives.
Second down, set up a middle screen. Flag is down. And so is the ball carrier. Down to the 38-yard line. Philip Sylvester has his leg taken out from underneath him.
Yeah, that screen took so long to set up. I think the offensive lineman, you're going to have offensive linemen downfield. And that's the problem. When you do a counter screen with so much activity, the quarterback doesn't get rid of that ball on time. The linemen tend to go downfield, and I think that's what happened there for FAMU.
Number 70 on the offense. 10 yards, repeat, second down.
Melissa standing by with Eddie Robinson Jr. Melissa?
Yes, that's right, guys. I'm here with Eddie Robinson Jr. We're here to talk a little about your father's legacy. Tell us, what effect do you think your father's legacy has on HBCUs today?
Well, right now, I can't really say, but I will say this. I think his legacy itself is built upon a strong foundation, you know, through the guys that he's coached, through the folks that he's taught in school. He's touched a whole lot of lives, and I don't know how much effect it would have, but I think from what he stood for and what he lived every day, I think if people just take note of that, I think it'll do a whole lot of good.
And with his legacy, you're trying to establish a museum on the campus of Grambling. Tell me a little bit about the progress you're making with that.
Oh, well, we're making great progress, I guess, from the Secretary of State's office, the university, the fans, and we are getting a tremendous amount of support from everybody.
That's great. Thank you so much. Okay. And we'll take it back to you, Eric.
All right.
Melissa, thank you so much. Yeah, this is the Traveling Eddie Robinson Museum. This is something they're really hoping is going to happen. And Eddie Robinson, if there's anyone who is an icon enough to have a museum after just one person, it would be Eddie Robinson.
You know, we're down here in Alabama, and obviously you talk about Alabama football, you think of Bear Bryant. When you talk about black college football, football in general, in Louisiana, you talk about Eddie Robinson and what he was able to accomplish. I know they'll get that project done, and it's going to be a tremendous project when they get it done down there in Ruston, Louisiana.
Bryant Lee is the quarterback for Southern University. He has the ball on the 11-yard line. Darren Coates is the runner next to him. He has the football, and it's a little end around. He gives it to Del Roberts, and Roberts, the speedster, tries the middle and picks up 5 yards. That ball was blown dead. It'll be spotted at the 15-yard line. Jay, just to finish off that thought, we're talking about Eddie Robinson, and as a quarterback who played in the MEAC, black college football, he must have meant something to you, because he was a real believer in black quarterbacks when black quarterbacks weren't even a possibility in the NFL.
I remember I got a phone call from Coach Rob a week before the National Football League Combine. And it was a phone call out of the blue in my dorm room. And, son, this is Eddie Robinson calling. And I hope you realize the importance of what you're doing. You're going to the NFL Combine. You're the one that's going to represent us. And to let me know that he knew my place in history, and he understood it all. He understood the business of sports, and he was saying, hey, go out there and represent us well. And the wins and losses, we all know the track record of what he's done. I mean, I don't think 400 wins will be achieved again by coaching, the way the coaching profession has changed. And Coach Robinson was, I mean, he was just that special. He knew everything that was going on in terms of black college football, in terms of sports in general. The love affair he had with his wife and Grambling was unmatched anyway.
Darren Coates with that run. Eddie Robinson knew what he had with guys like James Harris and Doug Williams and said, you know what? You're going to be a quarterback in the NFL. I'm not going to change you. We're not going to make an offensive back out of you or a punt returner. I'm going to make you ready for the NFL, and they were.
They were. I mean, you know, they set the stage for the guys today, the beneficiaries today, the Donovan McNabb, the Dante Culpepper, the Jamarcus Russell. I mean, the #1 pick in the National Football League, drop back African-American passer. So he set the stage, and I think every black quarterback owes it all to Coach Rob. He had the vision. Now, I'm not going to shortchange Joe Gilliam, too, at Tennessee State. You know, he got it going there, too, with the Lord's Prayer and Jefferson Street Joe and all those guys. But they were doing it together, and they had a vision that was bigger than what everybody else saw.
Second down. Pass is complete underneath. Out to the 29-yard line. Jumore Stewart with that grab.
Looks like Brian Lee's starting to settle down. You know, he's starting to try to find a rhythm, and they're throwing the football, and they're doing some things there. And that was a good-looking pass play there. Now, the key with all football, how are you going to convert on third down? And FAMU's playing a very soft, basic coverage. I mean, cover 2, they're playing straight cover 2. And the weakness in cover 2 is in the middle of the field. So let's see if Southern can figure out a way to attack the middle of the field.
Now they're going to take some extra time to talk about it. They burn a timeout and make sure that they have the right play call on 3rd down and 4. They'd like to stay on the field. Their defense has been on the field for a good bulk of this game. And they want to make sure that they get a blow on a hot, steamy day here in the Magic City.
Yeah, it's a little muggy down here.
This is the MEAC SWAC Challenge for the 3rd consecutive year, played right here at historic Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, with the former Howard Bison quarterback and NFL quarterback Jay Walker. I'm Eric Collins. Melissa Knowles here as well. Southern wearing the white, FAMU wearing their green uniforms with the orange helmets. 108 yards on the ground for Southern, 90 of them coming on their first play of the game, a 90-yard touchdown score. Darren Coates and scored their first touchdown of the game and only touchdown of the game. They missed the extra point. All right, 3rd down and 4. Let's see what Southern has cooked up. Over the middle, just like you said, Jay. To the tight end, Jumore Stewart crosses the 40 and struggles out to the 45-yard line before Michael Creary jumps on his back.
Good one here during the timeout. Ruben Carter and staff decided they were going to bring a little pressure. They wanted to bring a blitz and a little football 101. When you're getting blitzed, that means you've got man-to-man coverage. Look for your crossing route. Hit him in stride with the crossing route. Earlier in the game, he missed that pass in stride, but that can happen. When you've got one-on-one coverage and you've got crossing routes, hit him in stride. They can make big plays happen.
Calling his own number. Brian Lee with the carry, and man, is he crushed. He's met in the hole and dropped down with some thunder. Vernon Wilder was the man who really laid the wood on him.
And I like Vernon Wilder. He's just a good old-fashioned linebacker. Run stuffer there. I mean, 6 feet, 250 pounds. And when he gets his hands on you, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, they say when you watch the films, Vernon Wilder is in every shot. That's a compliment to your middle backer. On the run, passes incomplete. Mark Henderson had it, then dropped it. There was some help with him dropping it.
I think FAMU was getting physical. I mean, they came to play. They're physical. And, you know, when you look at the history of the MEAC SWAC Challenge, the key has been the physical teams. The MEAC teams have come and they've beat up on the SWAC team. SWAC is a pass-happy conference. They like to throw the ball all over the place. And this is MEAC football right here. Just putting wood on folks. And last year, Hampton came and muscled Grambling. Year before that, it was South Carolina State muscling Alabama State with Tavares Jackson, the quarterback. He's now the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, he didn't win his MEAC SWAC Challenge. So the MEAC's got bragging rights, and right now they just seem to be a more physical conference.
3rd down pass play. It's complete. Del Roberts, the first down and more. The former North Carolina Tar Heel spins out of bounds at the 32-yard line after a pickup of 19 yards.
Del Roberts is one of those guys, 5'9", 190 pounds. If you can get him in space, he can make things happen. He gets a clean release off the line. They're playing that cover 2 defense, sneaks in there between the linebackers and gets the big play to help Southern University keep the drive alive.
And that probably means a lot to Del Roberts. He's actually a native of Tallahassee. When he wanted to leave North Carolina, he didn't go to his local school, didn't go to FAMU. Instead, he travels out to Baton Rouge and playing for the Southern Jaguars for now year number 2. All right, timeout in the field. Southern just trying to catch a breath. They have 1 timeout remaining here in the first half. 1-point game. FAMU on top of Southern. Welcome back, everyone. Great shot there, the marching 100. The band for the Florida A&M Rattlers. They'll perform right here on center stage at Legion Field at halftime. Don't go anywhere for that, but we still have 9 and change remaining here in the second quarter. Bryant Lee, in his first year as the #1 signal caller for Southern University, won the job in preseason practice, keeps it himself, tries the right side, and is wrapped and dropped by Vic Arboleta. Folks, news of the day, take your hats off to 1AA football. The football championship subdivision, ranked #5 there, the AP Top 25. Michigan, they have an 0-1 record right now because they just lost earlier today against Appalachian State.
The defending 1AA champions, and what a great day for 1AA football.
Oh, big hitting going on out there. Pass is incomplete. Darren Coates almost had his head taken off. Are they going to say that was a backwards pass or it was a fumble? They're going to give the ball to FAMU. Ball's loose on the ground. I thought it was an incomplete pass. They're either going to say it was a fumble. It is indeed a catch and then a drop. I think we'll have to take a look at that one again.
The one thing we know the FAMU's been doing is hitting people with the football, and once this ball's there, oh no, oh come on. That's not even close.
Now, there's no chance, any way you look at that, that they could rule that that was...
That's not even close.
If that was a catch. No, he bobbled it from the get-go.
Wow.
So, scored a turnover, and the ball goes over to Florida A&M. They catch a massive break. Leon Campbell, still the quarterback in the game, gets it out to Willie Hayward, who picks up maybe a yard. Jarmal George with the stop. We've seen a lot of Leon Campbell now. Are you surprised at how much we're seeing of the second-string quarterback?
I think, nobody's moving. We're the efficiency, and I think they're going with game plan right now. Albert Chester, you would think, preseason all-conference quarterback, you wanted to ride on his shoulders, but they're trying to go with the hot hand right now. Neither's really been able to spark it, and the one spark they had was Campbell's mobility when he ran for the touchdown.
Second down. It's complete. Jarvis Funderburg with the catch, and he gets out at the 33-yard line. It's going to bring up a third down.
That's the one thing I think has really changed football, the little bubble screen right there. I mean, football on running plays used to be just in between the hashes. Now with the invent of this bubble screen, the wide receivers getting the ball in open space, their extended handoffs, they really do wear out a defense because they make you play completely from sideline to sideline.
On third down, here's the blitz. Pass is complete. Willie Hayward with the catch. I'm not sure that's going to be enough. It's going to be very close to first down yards.
That was a great job by Willie Hayward going down there, making himself small, coming up with the reception when his team really needed. Willie Hayward, 6'4". We talked about his height, and that ball was thrown on the ground. He had the great hands to go down and pick it up off the turf to help the Rattlers get the first down.
And he just got enough for the first down. Campbell now 5 for 9, 27 yards passing. Man in motion, they give it to him. It's Adrian Smith trying the left side. And the redshirt freshman is tripped up at about the 44-yard line. Gain of 7 on first down.
Good job, good athleticism. You got a freshman that's playing, and he's known for his hands, but I guess anytime you're in the state of Florida wide receiver, you can run. It's like an oxymoron saying you got a slow wide receiver. Somebody's slow in Florida. And Adrian Smith is no different. Great hands, great size, 6'2". With some mobility, and right now he's dealing with a cramp.
Adrian Smith, the redshirt freshman from Lakeland, Florida, getting some fluids on the field. Times like this, you just hope it's a cramp, which usually go as quickly as they come.
You can see that's the key right there. When you get cramps, they grab the top of that toe and pull it towards you to stretch that muscle out. That's all you can do is stretch. I mean, that's the hardest thing to do with a cramp. You don't want to stretch because it hurts, but you got to stretch it out.
Do quarterbacks ever get cramps? I don't.
What are you trying to say, Eric?
All right, timeout on the field. We'll come back in a moment. Southern University on defense, trailing by a point, 6:58 remaining. It is hot and steamy What do you expect? September 1st in Birmingham. 2nd down and 3. FAMU with the football. The Rattlers trying to continue this drive, and they will with another 1st down. The freshman, Sylvester, his finest pickup. 12 yards on that game. So far, through a quarter and a half, we have had a whole bunch of turnovers.
Start off here on the special teams. They're going back against the grain. Ball came out for fumble. Then this right here on the goal line, the fumble on the 1-foot line. And FAMU's been putting some wood out there, and Southern continues to hurt themselves. And this last one was ruled an interception, ruled a catch and a fumble. The ball has not been bouncing either way for either team, and it's been a sloppy game thus far.
Little misdirection. And Campbell's pass is too high, looking for the tight end, Jenkins.
Well, that's one there when you're a quarterback and you get outside the pocket like that, it becomes a run-pass option. If you're Leon Campbell, I'm thinking run first. He's a quick guy, get on the edge. Why would you get the ball to a tight end that probably runs 4.8, 4.9, and you're a 4.5 quarterback? Take off running. Let that big tight end block for you. Hurt him with your feet when you get outside the pocket.
Campbell gets out from underneath center. Looks to the sideline. Sylvester with the carry.
What a cut, what a move.
Sylvester dreaming. Touchdown, FAMU.
Great job by the freshman.
45 yards on that scamper down the left sideline. This kid's got a chance.
He does. Let me take a look here. Once he gets in the pocket, watch the swim move. Swim move inside, and then turn on the jets, and you're not going to catch him. You're not going to catch him, and you can tell the excitement was worth the hype. Jamal George there had a chance to get him, and that lets you know the type of speed he has, because Jamal George can run. Had the angle, with Philip Sylvester outrun the angle. This freshman dandy is something special down in Tallahassee.
9 carries, 85 yards, and this is first ever game as a collegiate. Wesley Taylor, no problem, splits the uprights, and just like that, the lead has swelled to 8. Philip Sylvester, 5'10", 185 pounds. Looks like he's the real deal. The Rattlers, they may have found something. Now Sylvester showing off some cat-like quickness. Philip Sylvester, just 18 years of age, already 85 yards rushing. The last 45 coming on 1 touchdown run to give FAMU a 14-6 lead. That was a 7-play, 74-yard drive for the Rattlers. Up back, fields it, and takes it out to the 36-yard line. Well, Melissa is standing by with Lawrence Jackson, the band leader for Southern.
That's right. Thanks a lot, Eric. I'm here with the director of the Human Jukebox. Now, you took over for Dr. Isaac Greggs back in 2006. Tell me about continuing in his footsteps.
Well, first of all, we have a great legacy here at Southern University, and we want to keep up the tradition. All the staff members were trained by the legendary Dr. Isaac Greggs. And it's very important that we understand the rich tradition, the legacy, and what we have to offer in HBCU band and college band all across the country. So it is an honor as well as a privilege to have an opportunity to follow in the footsteps of the legendary Dr. Isaac Greggs.
All right, so what can we expect to see at halftime?
Well, it's wartime right now, and we've been warring all the first half. But on the field at halftime, you will see the most exciting, the computer technology, the marching pedagogy of the Southern University Human Jukebox. Stay tuned for some fireworks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jackson. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much. All right, he's excited.
He sold his band, didn't he?
Pass is complete, deep over the middle. Gerard Landry, his biggest play of the game, all the way out to the 44-yard line. A pickup of 19 yards.
Take a look here now. You see the band director had his hands in the air. He was ready to get the band going, but in college football, specifically black college football, the bands are so loud that they get called, they get penalized if they're playing during the huddle. So that's something you got to see. We'll take a look at that coming up on the next play. See, the play is over now. Now you can hear them strike up the band. You see, they strike up the band to let everybody get into it. So that's why you never get a play off if you're a spectator of a black college football game. You know, you're sitting there, you're enjoying it. The band's playing, the quarterback's over there. He's taking care of his business while the band's taking care of their business in the stands right now. Once he gets over the center, now they're quiet, waiting for the next time to go. Quarterback, call your play. No penalties. So you got to learn how to get in and out.
On second down, Bryant Lee, another completion, and look at this. Landry refusing to go down. Touchdown, Jaguars.
While the band strikes up on the bottom, Jared Landry was getting it done on the field. What a great throw by the quarterback to hit him in stride. And when you've got a big body like that, you can run away from those smaller defensive backs.
Gerard Landry, look at this. What a fantastically athletic play.
Great job sticking it in there and bouncing off the defenders, and then it becomes a foot race. And he's showing not only my physical, but I've got some jets too. Catch me if you can. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Landry missed a bulk of the preseason with an abscessed tooth. On that play, he was a pain in the neck for FAMU.
You know, and he's a great player. I mean, you know, he's got size. You're talking 6'2", 230 pounds, and he used it well. I like how he screens the defender away. You know, right there, and absorb the blow, and then take off running. I mean, you're talking a big man there, 230 pounds. I can just picture him playing in the slot. And look at the band's reaction. Uh-oh, is he going? See, right now, look, hurry up, let's go.
So Landry scores the second touchdown of the game for Southern. Both of them have been scores that ended with exclamation points. A 90-yard touchdown run, a 46-yard catch and run. Two electric performances offensively for scores for Southern. And now they're going to go for two and try and tie this up. What's this all about?
Well, you know, they missed an extra point earlier, and you got the chart to say, hey, if you're down by 2, when to go for it. I know they were unsuccessful. I mean, what's the difference in being down by 1 or being down by 2? Hey, why not try and tie it up to make all things equal?
Yeah, it's awfully early to be thinking about that kind of stuff. But I guess if you missed your first extra point anyway, maybe you're not that confident in your kicker and you feel better going for 2.
You got to make up that point somewhere down the road. And hey, I think Coach Richardson and the staff, the sooner the better. And they had a little momentum, relying on the big play, and they thought they had a chance of doing it. What a game. And wow, look at that, 14-12 with all these turnovers.
Yeah, well, we got to get your band names, Jay. You talked about it earlier, your top 5 band names. What do we got here for us?
Well, we know we've got the, I'm going to quiz you on that.
Uh-oh.
You know the human jukebox is.
I can start from the bottom up.
All these games, all these bands, they got reasons behind it. The human jukebox, they got that name because they can play every top 40 hit. You put a quarter in, they can play whatever song you want. Now, who's the sonic boom of the South? Stomp your feet, but close your mouth, because here comes the baddest band in the South, all the way from Jackson, Mississippi.
The Jackson State Tigers Band.
Sonic Boom. Ocean of Soul. Who do you think the Ocean of Soul is?
That would be Delaware State.
No way. Texas Southern University. How about the Sounds of Dynamite? Is that a great name or what?
Where's that?
Sounds of Dynamite down in Alcorn, Mississippi. And number 5, I like it because it's a comeback.
I can get that one. That's South Carolina State.
And why are they the Marching 101?
Because they're one step better, one person better than the Marching 100.
When 100's not enough, you got to have 101. So, and you know, honorable mention, you saw that there. The Showtime Marching Band from Howard University.
Of course, you're going to put the former Bison quarterback.
Ladies and gentlemen,
always have to have the Howard on there.
It's showtime.
FAMU will take over with the football. And look at this. The middle just opens up like the Red Sea parting. Philip Sylvester across the 50 to the 35, but a flag is down on the field.
He's definitely earning his scholarship check today, isn't he? He's returning kicks. He's running the ball in the backfield. Wow, what a great all-around football player this young man is.
If it stands, it would be a 57-yard return. And Charles Williams, he and his crew, they have been busy.
Holding, number 52, on the receiving team, going to run back. 10 yards, first down.
I mean, I know there was a holding penalty here, but wow, look at the crease. I mean, he's 40 yards downfield before he's even touched. Look, that's too much space there. Let's see if we see the hole. I mean, the hole wasn't even relevant in the play there, but wow, what poor special teams by Southern University. And special teams, it's all mental. I mean, who wants to go out there and tackle the football? Right now, this Southern University team is playing horrendous on special teams.
Jay, from your experience, what's the area on a team that's the hardest to kind of get into midseason form early in the year? Special teams, offense, defense?
I think it's the passing because, you know, it's all based on time.
Arline wants a bunch, has a receiver looking for Hayward, and Hayward has it stripped away by Michael Williams.
That is a great football play there. A great football play. I like the quarterback's decision. You go one-on-one. Anytime you get one-on-one, you can't be mad at you there. Holds on to the ball a little bit longer than I would like, but this is how you play defensive back. This is how you play wide receiver. The ball's up, DB's talk. Go get it at its highest point. Don't let it come back. And then more importantly, you see how he got his left hand on his arm? In case the receiver was going to catch the ball, you strip his left hand away and make him try and catch it one-handed. That was great defense by Michael Williams.
The senior, Leon Campbell, still at quarterback. Albert Chester got the first 2 series, and since then it's been the Camel show. Greg Arline with the carry, and Arline lowers the boom. Gets out close to first down yards. It's all going to depend on where they mark it. Jamal George, number 2, with the stop.
8 yards downfield before he gets touched. And, you know, at some point it's getting frustrating to me because if you're Florida A&M, why not just pound the football? They can't stop your running game, but they continue to try and throw the football. I think FAMU should just concentrate with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Just pound the ball right down their throat. Don't try and get fancy. Just go straight ahead because Southern University has not shown the ability to stop the Rattler running game.
Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Campbell wants to throw. 7-step drop, throws it left side, and it's caught. Complete. Hayward with the catch out to the 40-yard line. A gain of 28 yards.
Wow. You know, and I'm an offensive guy, Eric, former quarterback, but that was offensive pass interference if I've ever seen one. See Campbell sit in the pocket, does a good job of sitting there knowing he's going to get hit. How does the wide receiver get that open? Pushed off. Got away with it. And take a look down the field. He's a tough guy to stand in there and throw the football. See, that's why quarterbacks are special. You know you're going to get hit, but you still get rid of it anyway. And you want to question us about cramps.
Philip Sylvester may be suffering from cramps. He's not in the game in the backfield. It's Greg Arline who's got the football. And Arline is tripped up at the 40-yard line. Good defensive play. Jonathan Malvo comes up and makes the stop. We are here in Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, the Magic City of Birmingham, with former Howard Bison quarterback Jay Walker. I'm Eric Collins. Melissa Knowles also in-house. This is a game that is featuring Southern wearing the white uniforms and FAMU wearing the green. And Sarah Lee somewhere is very pleased as turnovers are everywhere. 3 turnovers for Southern and 2 for FAMU.
You know, you're something else, man. Sarah Lee. How do you get Sarah Lee in a football broadcast?
Dolly Madison. Pass is high and incomplete. Looking for Javaris Knight.
Doing them a favor every time they throw the football. I really do feel that. I mean, you've clearly established that you're going to dominate the line of scrimmage, yet you come out and you're passing the football when you don't need to. I mean, just pound the ball at it. Just pound it. I mean, this is a small defensive line. Southern, their defensive ends are 250 pounds. Their linebackers weigh, 225. Hit them.
4 receivers in the game. Hamill looks to the sideline. Has 5 seconds to get this snap off. They do. Wants a bunch. To the end zone. Touchdown! Javaris Knight! Leon Campbell finds the sophomore Knight in the end zone. The 3rd touchdown of the game for FAMU.
Got by Jamal George there, the free safety, the All-American candidate at free safety for Southern University. Took a poor angle to the football, and the Rattlers made him pay.
Leon Campbell, the backup quarterback, and he has now led 3 touchdown drives for FAMU here in the first half. Extra point is no good. Wide right, Wesley Taylor, one of the best kickers in black college football, comes up empty. So FAMU, they're going to be stuck on 20.
Take a look here in the trenches. I mean, great job of protecting there. One guy got through and leaked it. We know that Campbell's going to stick in the pocket. He's a tough guy, but look at the angle by Jamal George. And that's what you can't do. Guy coming out late, that's twice we've seen Campbell get hit, and that's late. That could have been a penalty as well. That could have been a penalty. He was out, but as a quarterback, you get hit, and for touchdowns, you don't mind.
Jay, how surprised are you at how much we've seen of Leon Campbell? Obviously a very good player who is experienced, but he's playing at the expense of Albert Chester, who's a 5th-year senior, who was voted preseason All-MEAC first team.
Something's going on down there in Tallahassee that we don't know about. To have him come out, and Chester was the hype, he was the guy, he was the senior leader, and you know, to make this change, are you really going with the hot hand? Because when Chester left the game, I mean, it was early. When Campbell came in the first quarter, he's been in ever since. So I never questioned coaches like that. I mean, I think that's kind of for the media and the press to do. Sit up there and quarterback controversies are sexy in terms of selling newspapers and causing disruption. But at the end of the day, I think coaches know their personnel, and that's what they get paid to do.
You quarterbacked in the MEAC, one of the best quarterbacks to ever come out of the MEAC when you played at Howard. Your senior year, if you played the first 2 series and then sat down the rest of the first half, what's going through your head when you get the headsets on the sidelines?
Is it too late to transfer? That would have been my thoughts there. I mean, it's got to be very disappointing, but you can't let it get you down.
Ronald Wade brought down about the 23-yard line. That's where Southern will start that possession after the 8-yard return.
And to go back to your point a little bit on the quarterback controversy, the reason why something's going on, because it's not like Campbell came in the game and they ran a package specifically for Campbell. They're running the same plays. We don't see Campbell running to the left, rolling out to the right, doing dive option program. They're running their base offense with their backup quarterback in there. So that's why I'm saying something's going on in Tallahassee that we don't know about.
Here's Bryant Lee, the sophomore. Throws it, passes complete right side. After a pickup of 1, maybe 2, Gerard Landry is brought down, but it took a while.
He's a Clydesdale. You know anything about horses? You know, you got the thoroughbred. They're built for speed and the quarter horses. He's a Clydesdale. I mean, he's got a base on him, 230 pounds, and he's all of 230 pounds. And, you know, small defensive back, he really doesn't stand a chance to tackle him one-on-one in the open field.
Landry's now caught a pass in 26 consecutive games. Lee keeps it himself and gets across the 30. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short. Lyman Reed, the sophomore from Tampa, jumped on top of him. Officially got credited for that tackle. Now he'll come off the field and 3rd down and 2. Lee keeps it himself and is able to spin out of the first tackle and get enough for the 1st down.
That was a big 1st down there for Southern University, because had they not converted, they would have had to punt the ball back to FAM, and FAM could have tried to put together a 2-minute offense. By gaining that 1st down, they basically assured themselves of having the last possession of the first half.
The way that Southern is set up this year, do they have the potential to march it all the way down in a minute and get a score here?
That big wide receiver there, you know, one missed tackle, one big play. I mean, wide open, the middle of the field is open, and because Florida A&M plays such a soft cover too, they should have the ability to do it.
The tight end from New Orleans, Evan Alexander, his first grab in 2007. Clock continues to run. Southern does have 1 timeout remaining, and they're going to take it right now and stop the clock with 39 ticks remaining in the first half. So timeout situation, Southern, they are cooked. Well, this is a very special year for Florida A&M. This is the 30th anniversary of their last undefeated team back in 1977. With more on that, let's go down to Melissa.
Thanks a lot, Eric. That's right. 30 years ago, the Florida A&M football team won the Black College National Championship, and they also went 11-0 that season. Now, just yesterday during warm-ups, FAMU was wearing this T-shirt, Strike the Rock. Now, I asked a couple of the guys what that meant, and they said that means make your mark in history. They want to repeat that legacy and really start a legacy of their own. Thanks a lot, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, Melissa. Florida A&M back in the 70s, they had it going on. That 3-year period, 77, 78, and 79, they were on par with anyone. We're talking all levels of football. They were phenomenal. after the timeout. Pass is complete. And it's going to be enough for a first down. That's Gerard Landry. Another catch for him. If it's enough for a first down, the clock will stop while they reset the chains. But only temporarily.
See, now, I mean, you should have that ball snapped. Don't let any seconds go off the clock while you're waiting to call a play.
Lee. Pass is incomplete. Look at the defenders just bounce off of Landry.
I'm telling you, he's a Clydesdale. He's a Clydesdale. The key is how fast can the Clydesdale run. That's going to be the key for him. But I actually see him more as an H-back type. You know, he's got good speed for his size, but I can just see him becoming like a Frank Wycheck type guy, just killing cover 2 coverages in the NFL, like an Antonio Gates.
5 receivers in the game for the Jags. Pass is caught over the middle. That's Darren Coates with the catch. Pickup of 17 yards. 13 seconds remaining first half. Clock is stopped temporarily. Maybe Southern will just down the football, and they will.
That's that new rule change. You know, they went back to the old way of running the clock. So I remember when I was in the National Football League, with 2 minutes, you could probably run 12 plays. And when I was in college, give us a minute, and we can run 25 plays because we're always stopping the clock. You get a first down, they're going to stop it. They're moving all the time. So, you know, it's kind of the way you get it, the learning curve on college. They give you more room for error, and that's why Southern's been able to maintain this drive with just a little bit of time on the clock.
Southern, they have a freshman kicker. Don't know how confident they are in him. They're going to want to get really close if they have to settle for a field goal. Pass is through the fingertips of Del Roberts. It'll bring up third down.
And that's not Del Roberts' fault. I mean, the easy thing to say is the ball was right through his hands, but as a quarterback, you have to take it personal. You've got a guy running a crossing route 8 yards in front of you. Why would you throw him a bullet? I mean, nobody was covering him. Just put a soft touch out there, make it a crisp pass, not a bullet pass in there, so we can run with the football after the catch.
Third down. This is the play where they want it all. And nobody home. It's well out of bounds, looking for Jumore Stewart. And 3 zeros on the scoreboard. That'll do it for the first half of play. Don't go anywhere, folks. This may be the highlight of the entire day. When we come back, we'll have a Battle of the Bands. It's an informal Battle of the Bands, but it should be fun nonetheless.
Offer or call 1-800-638-8983 now. Verizon, it's the network.
It's halftime here at the MEAC SWAC Challenge in Birmingham, Alabama. Time now for Brian Kenny to give us an inside look at the bands from the SWAC.
The mighty Mississippi flows north to south. At its terminus, the river flows through both Louisiana and Mississippi. It is here that much of America's music was born.
The South is known for a rich tradition of music, primarily African-American music.
We grew out of an African-American experience. We grew out of blues, rhythm and blues, jazz, gospel. And you already know the Mississippi Delta, the birthplace of the blues. And right down the street, down the river, New Orleans, birthplace of jazz.
That is a true American art form. That's the only thing that we can say America is given to the world of music. As jazz, blues, gospel.
There's strong African content still present in our drum cadence that we utilize at Jack State today. In Mississippi, during slavery, and it was illegal for a black person to own a drum, because they also used drum for communication. So it was a very important instrument in black music.
In the earliest years of historically black colleges and universities, the band directors came home to teach after attaining their musical degrees in the North, often from programs in the Big Ten. Today's HBCU bands have superimposed their Southern experiences over the traditions of their Northern training.
We've always been a great marching band and always been a great playing band. We do have and always did have showmanship.
The type of strenuous activities that we go through, you got to be able to play, you got to be able to march, you got to be able to dance. We're a show band.
The renowned marching bands of the SWAC Conference have 3 major elements in common: musicality, marching precision, and showmanship. Mastering these components distinguishes HBCU bands from all other marching bands in the land.
I think this is as a rite of passage. There's certain music that all students should play in a marching band.
The first key to a successful HBCU band is the musicianship, mastering the performance of traditional band music.
Being able to play the John Philip Sousa marches. The marches are the only music that are written for marching band. There are certain ways you have to play those marches. When you're teaching nuances and interpretation, when you're trying to teach the kids how to be musical expressive with some type of compassion, and then you play warm and compassion, warm. It's to make you feel a little fuzzy about being an American.
The second key element is the marching style. Patterned after the Big Ten core style bands, the HBCU bands in time created their own legacy, the show band. Part old school with the high leg lift, mostly new school playing and dancing in a flowing motion, like the river.
I think the Ohio States and the Michigans, they do core style road stepping.
One thing that separates Michigan and Ohio State from Jackson State, they're not really a certain patterns of motion. As we have, they're more or less a follow the leader in a core style setting.
I think our shows are more perpetual, non-stop. Kaleidoscope, pictures of collapsing and unfolding.
We have to always emphasize alignment, the proper way to face the instrument carriage, leg lift, the proper step size.
Concentrate on the show. Now, you got to get your knees up. You got to get your knees up. We're going to do the whole show.
From yard line to yard line is 5 yards. And in order to make 8 equal steps, you have to march basically 22.5 inches per step.
Also, with our swing and sway action, we're moving our horns left to right with our knees going up. I feel it takes more energy and it's harder to implement our certain style.
When it's showtime, our band march 140 steps per minute throughout the entire show. Our kids have a showtime mentality. When it's on the line, they're producing.
The third major ingredient is showmanship.
We're going to bring that oomph, that excitement, and we're going to dance. And we're going to dance well.
Being able to play loud, high, fast, you have to have that fire. You have to have that spark.
When you hear 60,000 fans roaring, pom-poms flashing, on their feet applauding for you, that means we got the house.
What the HBCU bands bring is not only good music, not only good marching, but entertainment.
You got to look down that river, all the way from St. Louis to New Orleans. All of those colleges that are connected have similar experiences.
Stick around, everyone. We'll see one of those SWAC bands, Southern University's Human Jukebox, perform here at Legion Field when we return. Halftime here at the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Southern University trailing Florida A&M 20-12 at the break. And folks, this is where the fun starts. The Southern University Marching Band on the field. This is the Human Jukebox under the direction of Lawrence Jackson. Don't go anywhere. Time to catch our breath. When we come back, the marching 100 of FAMU will take the field. It is halftime here at the MEAC SWAC Challenge, but the beat continues. Time now for the marching 100 of Florida A&M under the direction of Dr. Julian White. Don't go anywhere. We'll take one last timeout. When we come back, we'll see if the second half can live up to the halftime performance. Welcome back to Legion Field, everyone, here in the Magic City of Birmingham, Alabama. Our score in the MEAC SWAC Challenge, the MEAC on top of the SWAC. Florida A&M 20, Southern 12. Alongside former Howard Bison quarterback Jay Walker, I'm Eric Collins. And folks, that first 30 minutes of play, it was turnovers and big plays.
Yeah, I think the key is, anytime you start the first game of the year, you got to work out the kinks. There was rust on both sides, penalties galore, turnovers all over the place, but made for an exciting first half, but it just wasn't the type of first half that the coaches imagined.
Yeah, folks, if you missed anything, we've condensed it into highlight form for you right now. Jay, take it away.
Yeah, it got started early. You saw the big running back, Darren Coates from Southern University, great zone blocking. First play from scrimmage, 90-yard touchdown, and the big fella showing he's got some breakaway speed as well. Then, hey, not to be outdone, FAMU had to get involved in the action. The backup quarterback, Leon Campbell, came in a relief role and got the Rattlers on the board early, showing shifty mobility there. And FAMU kept it going. The freshman sensation, Philip Sylvester, with the 45-yard touchdown run to let you know that he was the man for the FAMU Rattlers. Southern had some fight. Their big fella, their go-to guy, Gerard Landry, with the huge 46-yard touchdown conversion for the Jaguars. And FAMU wasn't done right before the half. Campbell going deep up top to Javaris Knight, 40-yard touchdown pass, giving the Rattlers a 20-12 lead at halftime.
Take a look at our first half stats. What jumps off the page at you, Jay?
The fact that, you got balanced by FAMU, but I do think the turnovers are the key. And they've come at it gets crucial times on the goal line, middle of the field, punt returns, things of that nature. But Southern has been dominating the line of scrimmage, yet they're still in the football game.
Yeah, putting those numbers in perspective, you saw that Southern, they have 122 yards on the ground. Remember, 90 of those coming on their first carry of the game, the touchdown run for Darren Coates.
Yeah, they've been dominating on the line of scrimmage, and the fact that FAMU has been so much stronger than Southern, they really are just beating up on Southern, and Southern is relying on the big play. And I don't know if you can make a living relying on the big play.
FAMU will kick things off. Southern will begin with the football here in the second half. Albert Turner with the football, and Turner crosses the 30-yard line and is brought down at about the 33. Gain of 22 on the return.
All coaches tell you the most important possession they feel is the start of the second half. You want to come out and see if your team is going to have the ability to make the halftime adjustments. Let's see if Coach Richardson and offensive coordinator Mark Orlando can make some adjustments to drive the ball down the field.
Bryant Lee started 3 games a year ago for Southern University. This season, preseason winning the job outright. He fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and Lee with a good gain. All the way into FAMU territory, down at the 46-yard line, a 23-yard run for the sophomore.
Good mobility there by Brian Lee. Did a good job of running that little dart option there. And the key to watching this, look at the right side of your screen. If that defensive end goes to the running back, the quarterback keeps the ball. By the time the defensive end made the adjustment, Wesley King, it was too late. Brian Lee was down the field for the big game.
Bryant Lee comes from a very strong program. Played for Hanville High School in Butte, Louisiana. The quarterback that he replaced, a guy by the name of LaRon Landry, you may know, is one of the best defensive backs in the country the last couple of years at LSU, now in the NFL. Good gain right side. Darren Coates, his second best run of the game, 22 yards. So back-to-back good runs for Southern University.
Halftime adjustments. You know, this is what we saw in the box. This is where we're going to attack their defense. And it seems like rather than run straight ahead, they're getting back to attacking the perimeter and trying to establish the running game. See that college check with me. Come up, get a look, take a look at the sideline, now call the play, seeing if they can get a matchup that they like.
Lee keeps it again. This time, gain of about 4, maybe 5. Let's go down to the field to Melissa.
Thanks, guys. I had a chance to speak with Coach Carter briefly before they went in for halftime, and he told me his team really needs to get faster, and they really need to get with the tempo of this game.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Have we seen that out of the FAMU team this year, or this half?
No, not this half. They're not taking heeds because they're getting pushed around right now. So I know they're strong. They're relying on their strength, but the speed, you know, when you're a team with team speed, you have to attack the edges. And right now in the second half, Southern's been attacking the edges, running with some success.
Second consecutive quarterback keeper, and Lee is going to be close to first down yards. If they mark him inside the 15, that's a first down.
This is the mark of good coaching staffs. I mean, you know, when your team is down and as sloppy as Southern played in the first half, when you've got experience like Coach Richardson and his staff getting together saying, hey, we're in this game, let's make some adjustments. That's how you know if a coach has the pulse of his team. How do they respond when they come out the locker room?
And Coach Richardson had a difficult decision to make this preseason. Who was going to be his quarterback? They went through 3 of them last year, and the sophomore Bryant Lee just did win the starting job a couple of weeks ago. Inside handoff, touchdown, Brian Threet. How about that for a tough run between the tackles? A 15-yard score.
Great vision there by the fullback slash tailback. He's just a big tailback is what he is. And Brian Threet had the vision to recognize the cutback lane. This play is designed to go to your right, but he sees daylight on the left side. Most running backs run to color. That's what you do. The good running backs with the vision, they run to where they see the color. So he looked over to the left side. There were no green jerseys. Hey, head to the hole, touchdown, Jaguars.
Now down by 2. Southern's going to go for the extra point. Earlier we saw them go for a 2-point conversion in that similar situation. This time they go for the extra point. They get it, and it's a 1-point game. Southern feeling pretty good coming out of the locker room. Bryant Lee had some good carries, and to finish it off, they give it to Brian Threet for his first score of 2007. Well, the Rattlers of Florida A&M may be a little bit rattled right now. Southern University, they take the first drive of the third quarter and march it right down the throat of FAMU. They take 2:09 off the clock, and Brian Threet, 15-yard, make it a 14-yard official touchdown run, making it a 1-point lead for FAMU. Kira Hall, the freshman from Cocoa Beach, Florida, with this return, gets out close to the 35-yard line. Well, ESPN Sports Center anchor Jay Harris was in town alongside actor Mel Jackson, teaming up on Friday afternoon to serve as the MC and the keynote speaker at the MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff luncheon. Fun time was had by all. A lot of book learning going on. Good food. Mel Jackson, in case you're wondering, is noted for his performance in the box office hit Soul Food. Also has had cameos in NYPD Blue, The Jamie Foxx Show.
He did a great job speaking to the kids. He did a great job. I remember last year, our own Stephen A. Smith was a motivational speaker. So they're getting more than just football. They're getting knowledge about life and motivational skills. And it's a great weekend. I can't say it too many times over and over again. Tremendous thing they do down here in Birmingham for this MEAC SWAC challenge.
Greg Arline with the carry, brought down by Glenn Bell. Well, we do have news on the quarterback situation for FAMU. It turns out that Leon Campbell is in the game for a reason.
Yeah, Albert Chester, the previous week we just learned, has not practiced with the team for the week going into the season. So he's got a lingering nerve injury on his right arm, his throwing arm, and he tried to tough it out. And he got nicked when he threw a pass into the end zone, and that's the reason why he's on the sideline. So he still is the man, entrenched at quarterback at Florida A&M. But the fact is, injuries happen, part of the game, and hats off to Albert for trying to tough it out and even participate in this game today.
There's Albert Chester II. He was voted the preseason first-team quarterback in the MEAC. His father, of course, one of the all-time legends in the history of Rattler football, leading to a national championship in 1978. So far, so good. Leon Campbell leading the Rattlers to 3 touchdown drives in the first half.
In a relief role, and that's what you want. The backup quarterback's a tough position because you never know when your number's going to be called. But when it's called, you got to make the most of the opportunity.
2nd and 6. Bullet pass right side. Hayward had it and then dropped it. F.A. also Wimwinze on the coverage. Repeat after me. Osa Wimwinze.
No. Ofa Wimwinze.
Close.
Close? Okay.
Not nearly as good as how I did it, but
I like F.A. I like F.A. Keep it simple. Still surprised that Florida A&M is so reliant upon the passing game. You look at the halftime stats. Their starting running backs averaging 9 yards a carry. Backup running backs averaging 8 yards a carry. Third string running backs averaging 6 yards a carry, and they're throwing the football.
And they throw on 3rd down and 6, and it's almost picked off. A couple of guys had an opportunity to grab that pick. Looked like Brian Lewis is the man who first flipped it up in the air. Little number 56, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and 6. The offense will have to come off the field, and the punt team will go on for FAMU.
As you see Albert Chester, they're giving some counseling. That's the senior leadership that doesn't show up in the stat book. He's out, but he's still actively involved in the football game, trying to offer advice, trying to offer help any way he can to help his team win the football game.
Wesley Taylor, his 5th punt of the game, averaging 45 yards with boot. That was by far his least prolific kick of the game so far today. And Southern will take over. Well, you talk HBCU football, and there have been some legendary players, a lot of skill position players coming out of the SWAC. In case you're wondering, this is a guy by the name of Jerry Rice, who played at Mississippi Valley State.
He had a pretty good quarterback there, too, though. Look at Satellite Totten slanging that thing to him. I love that nickname, Willie Satellite Totten. And Jerry Rice is Jerry Rice. I mean, wow. Just running away from people. And they thought he was just a good 1AA receiver. Little did they know he would turn out to be the greatest of all time.
He holds the SWAC record for most touchdowns with 50 receiving touchdowns. Del Roberts with that catch. He's spun down by Daniel Shepard. Yeah, the numbers for Jerry Rice just kind of hard to wrap your brain around.
Wow. 24 catches in one game. Wow. I mean, that's, I was happy if I got 24 completions.
My friend, I need you to explain this to me. Sure. Mississippi Valley State, the Delta Devils, they now play in the stadium called Rice Totten Stadium. How come it's not called Totten Rice Stadium? Because there's always Willie Totten thrown to Jerry Rice. Shouldn't Totten go before Rice?
Should, but alphabetical order.
Pass complete left side out of the backfield. Kendrick Smith, the transfer from Southern Illinois, tackled by Lyman Reed.
Footnote on Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice had the record for all-time 1AA receiving catches. Record was broken by
David Ball.
No, the record was broken by Jaquay Nunley from Florida A&M. Jaquay broke Jerry Rice's record, so they throw football in Tallahassee.
Pass is incomplete, looking to set up a screen to Gerard Landry. It's going to be a quick 3 and out for Southern University. Good defense played by Curtis Holcomb. Yeah, David Ball, I believe he was the all-time receiving touchdown leader.
Yes.
He played at New Hampshire in the last couple of years.
Yes, this is a reception record. It still stands.
I'm dangerous. This is just a kernel of information.
You have so much information. How do you do it? We got to talk about your what do you do with your spare time?
I'm not watching soap operas, my friend. Josh Duran with this punt. Good one. Gregory Clark fields it on the 25-yard line. There's a flag down on the field. And now Clark is down on the field after a return of 8 yards.
A block in the back by Florida A&M. Shouldn't be a block in the back. I've seen crazy calls here today.
If you were head coach, would you spend more time on special teams in preseason workouts? It seems like special teams always have so many penalties early in the year.
Yeah, I mean, that you have to. I mean, that would be a main priority, because that's when you talk about the games going on, what happens, it's always a block punt here. You know, in the Michigan-Appalachian State game, it was a blocked field goal attempt. So you have special teams early in the season can make or break your football team.
And folks, if you're just joining us and you've been out of touch for a while, huge day in 1AA football. Appalachian State, the defending national champs, they knocked off the Michigan Wolverines in Ann Arbor.
I mean, the thing, in Appalachian State, I mean, they're no pushover. I mean, they're the defending national, two-time defending 1AA champions. But the fact that a 1AA school beat a top 5 school, not even just a top 5 school, a top 5 program in their place speaks volumes for the job that those kids did today, what they accomplished. I mean, I can't think of any other scenario. We were trying to do that at halftime, and nothing came to mind.
A couple of years ago, New Hampshire went into Evanston and beat Northwestern, but that's hardly comparable.
Every year, there's always a 1AA school that beats a Division I program, but not on that magnitude.
Defense, it's decline. Illegal block in the back during the return against the receivers. 10 yards, first down.
So, Reuben Carter's bunch will be marched back a little bit as they begin this possession.
First and 10 from the 15-yard line.
Jay, wrapping up this conversation, is there a possibility that Michigan will drop from 5th in the country all the way out of the top 25?
I don't think so.
Regard line drop.
I think they go to 19. You know, the kids, how did they lose a game and they put up a fight? You know, you take a look there. I mean, how low can you go? I mean, you know you're leaving the top 10. And good to know you. The key is how far down do they go in order to get back in there? And, you know, I think they're going. And talk about the AP top 25. I mean, it's question marks. Virginia Tech struggled today. I mean, they really struggled. They had to fight against East Carolina. So I think Michigan goes somewhere around 19-20.
Is their season over? Can they play for the national championship after losing to a 1AA team at home?
Yes. I mean, because what if they rip off 10 in a row? You know, then they're the hottest team in the country.
They still lost to a 1AA team at home.
They lost to the 1AA national champion.
Pass incomplete, looking for Adrian Smith, the freshman. As it spin out, there would have been a tough catch along the sideline. We're looking over the shoulder of Albert Chester II. Just must be killing him. 5th-year senior, spending so much time just trying to get yourself ready, and you're not able to get it to go in the first game of your senior year.
That's tough. I mean, that really is tough. And he's got a lot riding on it, you know. But in FAMU, this is going to be a key year in the Reuben Carter era at FAMU. And I'm sure Coach Carter and their coaching staff, I mean, they're nervous about it too, because this is a non-conference game. And in college football, it's all about conference play. So they got to get him healthy. And when he's healthy, he's a good one.
Camel throws. Intercepted. Jarmal George, his first interception of the season. And the SWAC's preseason defensive player of the year, showing off some good moves. He's finally pushed out of bounds inside the 30-yard line after a return of 24.
Camel's in some pain. I mean, he was down there, like, he's really in some pain. So Albert may have to get back together, but what a good job. This ball was just thrown up in no man's land. Let's take a look at Camel, why this ball got away from him, why he's looking around there so much. He got leveled there. And Jamal Jones did a good job, and I like you get aggressive. After you get the interception, you become a running back. Let's take a look at this hit. Delayed reaction there. Well, it must have been the woo. So when it got him good. Wow. Looks like cramps.
It was Don Holloway who knocked him to the ground. Got the good pressure and forced Camel to throw it when he didn't want to.
It seems like every year when we come down here to do this game, the teams from the MEAC deal with cramps more than the SWAC teams. I mean, last year, Hampton cramped up like crazy. You know, previous year, they were always dealing with cramps. And I don't know, maybe the location. You think the location being in Birmingham gives the advantage to the SWAC schools in the South?
Well, Florida A&M, they're based in Tallahassee. It's not like they're from up in Maine. You know, they know a thing or two about the heat and humidity.
Yes, they do. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there. Not saying that's the reason. I'm just throwing it out there. But this game always, you know, they've got this field turf down here in Birmingham, and it's brand new turf, so it's hot.
All right, we're going to take a timeout as they attend to Leon Camel on the field. It's a 1-point FAMU lead. Now Leon Camel is being taken off the field. That looks like cramps to you?
It looks like body cramps all over. And, you know, the unfortunate thing is, had it happened earlier, he could have gotten an IV at halftime. You know, now I don't think the IV will kick in time in order to get him back in this football game.
Hard to believe a guy with the last name of Camel would have a hard time retaining the ball. Pass is complete, they're going to say. Inside the 10-yard line to Gerard Landry. That's a man's catch he just made.
It was. He held on to it. You know, take a look at the hit here that put Leon Camel out the game. And I don't think it was the hit. See, I think he's on the ground. He's okay. But when the body cramp hits you, you just don't know when you're going to get it. And he cramped up bad. And this looked painful. You can tell when it hit him.
Four receivers in the game now on first down and goal to go. Ball at the 7. Brian Lee, that spread formation, keeps it himself and dives to about the 2.5-yard line. That body cramp you're talking about. Are you talking from experience?
Oh, yeah. And when it happens to you, I mean, I remember being a rookie in the NFL in the cafeteria, just enjoying my lunch. And you figure
in the cafeteria
eating. And then all of a sudden, I'm out on the ground. I mean, it hits you once, and you think it's just your left side, then it's your right, and then it's your whole body, and you just stand up still, and you're on the ground, and you just can't control anything. I wouldn't wish that on my enemy, not even you, Eric.
And you still made the team when that happened to you.
Still made the team. Cramps are part of the game.
Timeout called by Florida A&M. They didn't have the right personnel. They wanted to make sure that they don't make any mistakes. They have just a 1-point lead. But so far, so good. Southern has been pretty darn solid here in the second half. Are you surprised at how well Southern has come out here in the second half?
I mean, that's a trait of a Pete Richardson team. I mean, you know, they're well coached. Any well-coached team, you're going to make halftime adjustments. That's where coaches earn their money. So they've responded. They figured it out. And these are the boys from Louisiana now. These are Louisiana boys. They got some fight up in them. So you knew they were going to show up, and they weren't just going to go down like quietly.
Got a question for you. The SWAC, they've lost each of these first 2 games here, the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Did the guys on the field know that? Did they know that the SWAC hasn't represented?
That was a talk all week. And before the game, the Southern guys were saying, no MEAC this year, no MEAC this year. And the MEAC are like, this is our house. This is our house. So there's pride on the line. I mean, even Coach Carter, he's not a real emotional guy. He was over there, and he had a little wink in my eye. Jay, MEAC's going to be okay. You know, and I'm a MEAC guy. So I graduated from Howard University. And, you know, there's pride in it. I take pride in it. You know, I actually take pride in the fact that the MEAC is undefeated in this series.
Back in the 90s when you were playing in the MEAC, did you have success playing at Howard against SWAC teams? Let's talk after this play. Bryant Lee keeps it himself, and Bryant Lee is going to score again for Southern University. Who saw this coming? Right out of the halftime, the Jaguars have been on the prowl. And now Bryant Lee may be cramping up.
Yeah, I mean, they just kept fighting, and you knew if they caught 1 or 2 breaks, they get, look at that. That's teamwork. That is teamwork. Now, I wish there were more numbers in there, some higher numbers. There you go. I want to see some 70s and 60s, no 80s or 30s in there. Let the linemen get them. That's teamwork, and that's respect amongst your teammates, amongst your peers.
Score a touchdown, and you get carried off the field. Gonna give them a 6-point lead. Josh Duran does. Well, Duran has now hit 2 consecutive extra points, and there's a timeout on the field. Southern University riding those good feet of their sophomore quarterback, Bryant Lee. And they now have a 6-point lead. They'll try and keep it up on defense when we come back. Bear Bryant to Bo Jackson to Fairfield's Willie Mays. The memorabilia and memories of Alabama sports heroes are enshrined at the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. It's a 3-story, 30,000 square foot structure featuring 75-seat theater and over 4,000 pieces of spectacular memorabilia. Alabama, they have seen quite a few good athletes come out of these parts.
That's awesome. I remember talking to the president of the museum, and so I asked what's the criteria for getting in. You know, you have to be born in this and that. He said, no, we couldn't make it just born here. I said, why? Well, we got to get the bear in. Bear Bryant from Texas.
Change the rules. 8:03 remaining here in the third quarter. Southern University, they've come out of the locker room after halftime with their hair on fire, marching down the field and scoring twice to take a 6-point lead over FAMU. Rattlers return the ball out to the 36-yard line. Kira Hall on that return. This is the third running of the MEAC SWAC Challenge. All of them have been played right here on legendary Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama, alongside former Howard Bison quarterback Jay Walker with Melissa Knowles. My name is Eric Collins. Glad to have you here. Southern, they're wearing the white uniforms, and they're in the green uniforms with the orange helmets are the Rattlers of Florida A&M. Each team with an even 3 turnovers so far in today's contest. And look at this. Back in under center is fifth-year senior quarterback Albert Chester II, who's been battling with injuries over the last couple of weeks and only played just a handful of snaps in the first half. The freshman Sylvester with that carry, and he is stood up. Brian Lewis credited with that tackle, number 56.
Chester started out this game, you know, for those of you all that just checking us out, just watching, you know, he's the preseason all-conference quarterback for the MEAC conference. So he started the game early, got dinged up, has some nerve damage. He's been fighting in camp on his right throwing arm. So he's back in the game because Camel caught body cramps and he's out of commission. But, you know, this could work out for FAMU because I've been upset because they haven't been running the ball. Now maybe they'll put more emphasis on the running game.
Or maybe not. Chester wants to throw, has a man complete. Javaris Knight with the reception. If that was maybe a yard less further down the field, he had a touchdown.
Yeah, he was wide open. That was a blown coverage, and you can tell the defensive back there from Southern, Effie, actually thought he had safety help over the top, and there was nobody there. That's how he got so wide open. But look at the vision by Chester. See, that's the stuff you can't coach. Go through reads, get hit with a bad arm, and still deliver the ball.
F.A. also Winze is being carried off the field, and the clock continues to roll. Florida A&M. Nice little pitch and catch. Jarvis Funderburk picks up good first down yards. Looks like he has enough for another first down. A pickup of 11, maybe 12.
And I think now we're starting to see a football game. The team shook off the rust, and now they want to play some football, and they're doing the things that they came here to do, moving the ball downfield, efficient. This is a good old-fashioned dog fight now.
Well, they can actually mark him at the 26-yard line, so it's second down and 1. The world's kind of the oyster right now for FAMU. A lot of different things they can do offensively. And they give the ball to the freshman. Sylvester is stoned and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Good defensive play and run support coming up and making the stop. That's Joe Manning. He's normally the nickelback. He came in replacing Oso Winze, the transfer from Florida State. Loss of 1, 3rd and 2 now. Delayed handoff. Sylvester breaks a tackle and is going to be close. This may be close enough where they're going to have to measure. Don Holloway with the stop, had him wrapped up around the ankles.
It looks like Southern's answered the call. They decided, you know, we're not going to get pushed around on the field all day. They're getting physical now. And I think they're trying to match FAMU's intensity down in the trenches.
Man, they're not even going to measure. They're going to say it's 4th down and less than 1. FAMU's going to go for it. Looks like. They're going to run for it, and they're not going to get it. No chance. Sylvester, nowhere to go. Don Holloway just blew up that play.
You can put as many people around the line of scrimmage if you want to, but whenever you get 4th and short, throw schematics out the window. Who wants it more? And look at all the penetration, and what a great play by Vincent Lands, the big playmaker from Southern University. Beat his man one-on-one off the ball. Jaguar football.
A year ago, Southern University, they had some tough times stopping the run, but at least for one series, they were fantastic.
They answered the call there, and it all started with who wanted it more. The stopping the running game is mental. It's all mental. You have to be committed to it mentally in order to be a good run-stopping defense. And they weren't necessarily in the first half, but in the second half, I think they're committed to stopping the run.
Darren Coates, a 90-yard touchdown run back in the first quarter with that carry, a pickup of 5. Again, they give it to Coates, and Coates has it up for a first down. The 2007 FIBA Americas Championship continues on ESPN Classic later tonight with both semifinal games. First at 7 Eastern time, that's the United States taking on Puerto Rico. And then at 9 Eastern time, it's Argentina taking on Brazil. And there's a lot on the line. The 2007 FIBA Americas Championship semifinals live on ESPN Classic tonight. The winner of each game gets an automatic bid to the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Dell Roberts with the pass out in space. He's knocked out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. They're going to say he stayed in bounds, so the clock will continue to roll. The tackle made by Kira Hall. And Roberts comes off the field gingerly.
It seems like everybody's cramping up, but that FIBA basketball has been something to watch. Did you see the dunk?
Which one?
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo?
You didn't see it then. If you ask which ones, that means you didn't see it. Dunked on the team. I mean, one of those moments, and it's good to say we're back in terms of basketball.
I heard LeBron James thought that he wasn't doing enough offensively, so he just turned it on a couple of games ago and just dominated.
Yeah. The key there, the Jason Kidd, though. I mean, he's the one that you have to have playing well, and he's getting everybody involved, so they're rolling. They're clicking on all cylinders, USA basketball.
This may finally be a Team USA that's worthy of being called a dream team once again.
Yeah, I mean, they look good.
Kendrick Smith leaves the game, a transfer from Southern Illinois. From the shotgun, Lee pitches out. That's a loose ball. It's picked up by Coates. And Coates has a first down and more. Gets to the 45-yard line before Kira Hall upends him.
Wow, this was the perfect call. Had that ball not been bad, that could have been a touchdown. Florida A&M decided they were going to bring pressure. They brought the whole kitchen sink, all-out blitz, nobody deep within 10 yards down the field. He gets by this guy. Touchdown had he been able to catch the ball on the fly. One-on-one coverage on the outside. They brought the blitz, optioned off of the blitzing linebacker. It was a great call by Pete Richardson and staff.
The dean of the SWAC, Pete Richardson, in his 15th season with Southern. This time the play call was quarterback keeper, and Vic Arboleta with the stop. Loss of yardage. Here's Pete Richardson. We talked about it in the first half. He's in the final year of a three-year contract, and with 2 consecutive losing seasons, there's some heat that he is feeling. Some speculation that if they do not have a good season in Jaguar land, that maybe he will be gone next year.
I mean, they do have very high expectations at Southern University when it comes to their football team. But he deserves credit for having those high expectations. He's part of the reason why.
Sacked. Carlos Roll, the senior from Tallahassee, sacks Bryant Lee for a loss of 8.
Great penetration there. We talked about Roll. He's one of those motor guys. He's got a motor. See, I mean, quarterback holds on to the ball too long, but he never gave up his penetration and just kept going until he was rewarded with the sack.
So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 17. Jaguars need to get to the 34-yard line. Lee has his man. It's complete. And it's going to be a first down to Roshan Jacobs, his first catch of the season.
Wow, that was a great read and a great throw by Bryant Lee, the quarterback, to stick the ball in the seam. Florida A&M went to a prevent type defense, and look at him just deliver a strike. He's got an awkward throw motion, but he throws that skinny post route very well. We've seen him stick it in there several times today, and it's not about the looks. It's all about the result. And the release is not pretty to watch, but he's accurate.
Now, your thoughts so far on Bryant Lee, the sophomore?
I think he's growing. I mean, he's growing, and you know, he's been tested. I mean, Coach Richardson felt good because he started in the Bayou Classic. But just because you start in a big game doesn't mean that, you know, you're going to be the man. He's a young guy. I mean, he's a sophomore, so he's got his best footballs clearly ahead of him. But I think he hasn't done anything to hurt his team. I mean, we're not talking about interceptions here or there. You know, he hasn't done anything to hurt his team, so I think he's going to continue to get better.
Underneath a minute to play, third quarter. Already Southern with 2 scores, both of them touchdowns in the third quarter. They trailed at halftime 20-12, but they have scored 14 unanswered.
Blitz is coming. They're bringing the blitz. Better get rid of it quick, Brian.
Here it comes. It's picked up on the slant. Jacobs, does he make the catch? Yes, he does. And I think there's even going to be a penalty. That's going to go against Florida A&M, and a heck of a grab by Jacobs, the transfer from Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, the cornerback for FAMU, Curtis Holcomb, got caught trying to undercut the ball. And that's what happens. You throw a perfect, accurate ball, the defensive back can do whatever he wants. He can't get him. It was a good job of making a great catch. And I mean, look at this coming right in your living room. Tried to undercut the ball. What a catch.
Number 24.
Jacobs.
On defense, penalties decline. First down.
Jacobs now with 2 catches on this drive, his first 2 of the season. There's a good look at Curtis Holcomb. But Bryant Lee, he's been the story here for Southern University here in the second half. Talked about his mobility, but his accuracy much improved. Now 19 for 26 from the field on the day.
Efficient. He's been efficient. He weathered his lumps. You know, took his lumps early, but has hung in there. And right now, his team is winning this football game.
Low snap. Lee. Pass is true. It's caught. Inside the 5, inside the 10, down to the 5. That's Cleavon White with the catch.
Right now, Southern University is winning this chess match between FAMU. The reason you know that, FAMU's starting to blitz. They're trying to create artificial pressure. One-on-one coverage, trying to get to the quarterback, means that FAMU's defense is on its heels right now.
And it looks like that's going to do it. Clock strikes 0, and the Southern University Jaguars will go to the fourth quarter with 4 fingers up in the air. They want to close this one out in style. They have been the dominant team here in the second half. Can they continue it in the fourth quarter?
Classic.
The third running of the MEAC SWAC Challenge has been a doozy so far. 4 touchdowns, 40 yards or longer already in this game. And Southern, riding a roller coaster, they have taken the lead back from Florida A&M. First down run going nowhere as the quarterback Bryant Lee. Daniel Shepard is there to bring him down for a loss of 1. Shepard is their tackles for loss guy. A year ago, he had 14.5 tackles for losses. There he gets 1 against Bryant Lee. So far, as we take a look at our game track, turnovers equally balanced, 3 apiece. The total yard situation, look at that. The Jaguars starting to flex a little muscle over FAMU. Big reason why was that third quarter. They outgained FAMU, did Southern, 166 yards to just 58. Pass is complete. Cleavon White with the catch, pushed out of bounds inside the 2.
That was a big-time throw there by Bryant Lee. I mean, anytime you're in college, you know, college hash marks are wider than the NFL, so he threw that ball from the right hash on the out pattern all the way to the left sideline. So he showed he's got some arm strength there, too. So really been impressed with how he's come along and he's matured right before our eyes in this football game.
Third down and 1. What's a good call here?
I mean, push it. I think when you're down here, you tell yourself it's 2 down. 2 down territory. Push it twice. If you don't have a running, an offensive line that can gain a yard in 2 plays, then you're in trouble.
They give it to the tailback, Coates, and he is in for a touchdown.
I know the the Jaguar Nation, they've got something to celebrate. When we talk about the Jaguar Nation, what is the Jaguar Nation? The Jaguar Nation is 15,000 people driving from Baton Rouge to get here to watch their team play week in and week out. And with that comes high expectation, but a great football atmosphere.
The numbers now for Coates: 9 carries, 142 yards, and 2 scores. The extra point is true. It is now. Well, there's a flag down on the field. Don't make it official just yet. I'm going to have to sort this one out. If the kick is good, it would be a 13-point lead for Southern, and that would mark their largest lead of the game.
As the officials are sorting it out, more body cramps on there. That's been the story of this game, cramps. Oh, this is the cramp classic.
Jay, what can you do about that? Has technology not reached a point where we can control cramps? It seems like it's rampant today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and they drink plenty of Gatorade. I mean, you look down on the sidelines and the officials waving off the flag. I really don't know. I mean, I'm not the medical guy. Talk to my buddy Robert Smith. Maybe Smith can give me an answer up in Bristol on cramps. I mean, bananas, you know, you eat plenty of bananas and get potassium, but I mean, just think how long cramps have been around. I remember they used to say take salt tablets. So maybe we need to go back to the salt tablets. Even that seems like the exact wrong thing to do. But salt tablets and potato chips, bananas, I've heard it all.
Potassium, sure.
I've heard it all, but it still keeps happening.
Well, we've had a player with the last name of Camel leaving the game because of cramps. If a player named Camel can't retain water, we've got issues. All right, 33-20 is our score. 14-11 remaining in this one. And, well, both these teams getting an eyeful over the last couple of days. Players and coaches from both schools getting the opportunity to visit the legendary Birmingham Civil Rights Institute on Friday. The Institute is the centerpiece of the city's historic civil rights district and is a state-of-the-art facility housing exhibits that depict historical events from post-World War I racial separation to present-day racial progress. And it is a sobering place if you get a chance to check that Civil Rights Museum out. Obviously, Birmingham was really the eye of so much of the civil rights storm back in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. So much history, good and bad, here in Birmingham, Alabama. And these kids got a chance to learn even more about it over the last couple of days.
Yeah, you know, I like that. I mean, for many of the kids in Florida, this is their first time in the state of Alabama. So rather than just come here to play a football game, come here and get some knowledge. I mean, it's all about knowledge. And true, this is football, and it's black college football, and I love it. But at the end of the day, it's all about educating African-American men. And you have to educate them in football, but you also have to educate them off the field, educate them for life. And I think that's what this classic has captured.
Point bulge for Southern. Jaguars will kick it off. They really turned this game around with their spirited play in the second half. On the return, it's Philip Sylvester, the freshman. Is dropped at about the 32-yard line. Sylvester returns it. Give him another 23 yards before he is dropped.
This is gut check time right now for Florida A&M. I mean, you really, this is how you test your team's mental fortitude, because they're down by 2 scores, and you've got a quarterback that's injured on his throwing hand. So you can't rely on the passing game so much, but you got to dig deep and figure out a way to run the football and do whatever you have to do. I mean, at this point, do whatever you have to do to put some points on the board before this game gets ugly.
Albert Chester II remains in the game. He started, but then left for the good portion of the first half when Leon Camel came in. Camel did a good job leading 3 scores, but Camel now out of the game, and it looks like it's going to be Albert Chester's game the rest of the way.
Snap, false start, number 60, offense, 5 yards.
Not a good start to this drive. That is now penalty number 9 for FAMU. First down at 15. 5 receivers in the game. Empty backfield for FAMU. Chester across the middle. Hits his tight end. Jarvis Funderburk with the catch.
Good time, good pocket, good poise. That was just an efficient pass play there. You see Funderburk do a good job of splitting his own defenders. And Funderburg, I mean, he's one of those true freshmen, big upside, freshman wide receivers. He got some shape.
Pickup of 19 yards. Pass is complete right side. Pushed out of bounds. No, he's going to stay in bounds. Isaac West with the grab. Another freshman. This one from Tallahassee. Jonathan Malveaux with the stop.
Right now you're seeing a Bob Cole offense. You know, the offensive coordinator for Florida A&M is Bob Cole. He's coached at some pass-happy schools. He knows about the passing game. Montana, Utah State. So it's time to schematically develop a passing game. FAMU's got one of the best ones in the business.
Sylvester, good strong run. That's 3 consecutive plays featuring freshmen for FAMU. Let's go back down to Melissa.
Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm standing on the ladder that Dr. Jillian White stands on when he directs the Marching 100. And I got to tell you, this is pretty high up. I don't know how I'd keep my composure up here if I had to report all my stories from up here. But I can tell you the Marching 100 looks great from here, and I'm sure they're going to give us some more great music a little later in the game. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, Melissa. Flag on the field as Chester runs around and throws that out of bounds.
You better be safe getting off that ladder.
Well, when they start playing, they play with some ferocity. They can blow her off that stand. You're not going to a symphony when you hear the FAMU Marching 100. They're playing their lungs out.
They are, and they play loud. I mean, they play loud.
Well, it seems like a step forward, a step backwards for FAMU. After a couple of nice gainers, they are going to be pushed back 10 yards. Holding call on the line. Anthony Collins whistled for that foul. In case you're wondering, in the preseason poll in the MEAC, Florida A&M was picked to finish 5th. In a bit of an upset, South Carolina State was picked to win the MEAC this year. And Hampton, the Pirates have won in 3 consecutive years. They're picked to come in 2nd. Delaware State was 3rd, and 4th was Bethune-Cookman. Chester with all sorts of room in the middle of the field. Upended at the 39-yard line, a pickup of 11 yards. Is that Melissa? Is that Melissa leading the band? No, that's Dr. Julian White who's leading the Marching 100.
Always entertaining the crowd.
Chester wants a punch, has a man, intercepted! Intercepted by Glenn Bell. Oh, that's going to really take the winds out of the sails of FAMU. They had a man, Willie Hayward was open, and Glenn Bell just made a tremendous play with that recovery speed.
He did. He took, I thought was a poor angle, but he's such a good athlete that he was able to adjust and go and snatch this ball out there. You see him right there in your screen, at the top of your screen left. Ball's in the air, he's going, he's backtracking, but oh, had he got the ball out there just a little bit further, it would have been a touchdown. Hayward did a good job of getting by the corner and the safety, but Glenn showed he's got some athleticism. Great job by Glenn Bell.
Bell had 1 interception last year. Now he's got 1 interception in 2007. That's the 4th turnover forced by Southern University. And Southern, they're going to bleed a little bit of clock up by 13. They try and run on 1st down, and they pick up a couple. Ryan 3 on that carry.
Now's the time where 12 minutes left in the game, and we saw earlier that FAMU was getting aggressive because they couldn't sit back and play zone. They were blitzing before. Expect Southern to see a heavy dose of Florida A&M Rattlers coming to attack the football, blitzing from all angles. Nobody in the middle field. There's not one Rattler defender that's deeper than 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
On the run, Lee throws a strike to Cleavon White. His 3rd catch of the game, gets it out to the 30-yard line. Close to 1st down yards. It's going to depend on the spot.
You know, and that's what you do. When you've got a team that's going to blitz you, the hardest part about blitzing is what part of the offense do we attack? Do we attack the pocket? Do we attack the outside? So great call by Mark Orlando, the offensive coordinator for Southern, to move the quarterback out the pocket so that way it's harder to find the blitz target and get the ball on the outside to run away from the blitzing linebackers.
3rd down and inches. And the ball is loose, and Lee's just going to have to fall on it. Missed opportunity there for Southern. All they needed was a half yard. Instead, they go backwards, and the punt team will have to come on.
And they probably started off with the wrong play anyway. I mean, your 3rd and inches, get your quarterback underneath the center. You know, that's when you get underneath the center, so you give them the threat of the quarterback sneak or the handoff. 3rd and inches, everybody knows you really want to run the football, yet you're starting 4 yards back, and you're giving the defense time to penetrate your line of scrimmage.
And at the end of the day, all they really did was bleed a little bit over a minute of game time off that clock. So they did Reuben Carter and Florida A&M a favor on that drive.
Glenn Bell's interception looks like it was for naught. Stopped the drive, kept points off the board.
And Southern now, they have to burn a timeout. They couldn't get the punt team on in time. And they blow a timeout. And Pete Richardson's hot right now.
The camera's not over here, though. Oh, okay, yeah.
Let's go down to Melissa. Melissa?
Yeah, guys, you know, Glenn Bell has had to deal with a lot. You know, it's a 2-year anniversary of Katrina, and his family was actually evacuated and forced to relocate 3 different times. But he told me yesterday, you know, everything happens for a reason, and it's time for him to step up, be a man, and take responsibility.
Thank you, Melissa. Yeah, Glenn Bell, one of many players from Southern University that was directly affected by Hurricane Katrina.
And he said his family is still trying to get back to New Orleans. I mean, think about it. 2 years later, they're still trying to get back to New Orleans. And I mean, with that tragedy that America is still reeling from with Hurricane Katrina, I've got family from down there, and you know, pray for those people every day.
After the timeout, Josh Duran with the punt. It's a high spiraling kick. Fair catch is called for, and I'm not sure if there was enough room to make that catch. Gregory Clark caught it, and a flag comes down at his feet. Looks like this is probably going to go against Southern for crowding him a bit.
Is that the old halo rule, we called it? When you talk about that tragedy that New Orleans had to deal with, and Southern University in particular, when we talk about black college football, I mean, I think it makes you stronger. And that's why I think America is kind of pulling for teams like that that are in that area. New Orleans Saints was a great story. And I think the story of college football this season is going to be Virginia Tech. And they're starting to become America's team of the hope because everybody's pushing for them.
On the receiving team, 10 yards, first down.
Yeah, we were faked out. That's actually going to be against FAMU, so their starting field position is going to be a little bit worse than they thought. Reuben Carter's bunch will start with the ball on the 21-yard line on this very pivotal drive, you would imagine. Down by 13 with just a little bit over 10.5 minutes remaining in this game. The 2005 MEAC SWAC Challenge was won by the MEAC. South Carolina State victorious over Alabama State. In 2006, the MEAC winners, as it was the Hampton Pirates with the W. Can Florida A&M get it done this year? Southern University, they travel well. That's something they've always said about the Jaguars. A lot of their fans have made the pilgrimage from Baton Rouge here to Birmingham, and they've seen a fantastic second half by the Jaguars to give them a 13-point lead over FAMU. Rattlers have the football. The freshman, Philip Sylvester, is going to slow up as that play never really happened. Flag before the play started. This is Birmingham, Alabama, the Magic City. Legion Field is our venue, along with Jay Walker and Melissa Knowles. My name is Eric Collins. This is the 3rd annual MEAC SWAC Challenge this year. Southern wearing the white, FAMU wearing the green. Turnovers have been an issue for both clubs. FAMU with 4 interceptions. Their most recent one, Albert Chester, throwing an interception on a ball where he had a receiver open in the back of the end zone. Giving the ball back over to Southern. Just over 10 minutes remaining. FAMU, they're going to need to score and score in a hurry. And there's another mental boo-boo. Javaris Knight closed the fingers too fast.
Closed the fingers too fast. I mean, he was trying to catch with his fist. Huh?
It's actually Adrian Smith. I apologize.
And he's supposed to have great hands. He's the hands guy on this team.
Looking over the shoulder of Leon Campbell. At least that's a good sign. He's back on the field. He had been taken into the locker room. We think he was dealing with cramps, not 100% sure, but he was in an awful lot of pain. It's good to see him at least back out on the field.
I don't know about that hairstyle.
2nd and 15. Chester squirrels out of the pocket and slides down at the 20-yard line. Pick up a 4.
You know, you take a look here on the sidelines. Chester's looking at the defense, trying to, right now what he's doing is getting everybody in place. Okay, we want you to line up here. Seems like he's got the play, looking for where they should attack the defense. And as he does, to take a look over the sideline, now he'll get the play. You see, now he's getting the play. So they got the defense in front by formation. They got to a formation to make the defense react. Then they call the play, and now they're trying to see if they can get success.
3rd down and 11. Chester gets to the back out of the backfield. Sylvester making something out of nothing, almost found himself with enough yardage for a 1st down, but he's dropped at the 27-yard line, and that's going to be a little bit short. It's going to bring up a 4th down. You assume you have to punt here at 4th down, right?
Yeah, especially knowing I was talking to Coach Carter's staff. I said, wow, last season, you know, you guys only went for it on 4th down 6 times during the whole season. I know some teams that go through 4 or 5 times in a game if you get down by enough. So the conservative nature of Coach Carter tells you that they're going to punt the football. But, you know, you have to make adjustments. And would now be a time to do it? With 9 minutes to go, it may be too soon.
Well, they got some time to think about what they want to do, as there is a player down for Southern University. Once again, it looks like that's a cramping situation. All right, Jay, while we have a moment, I want to get back to something that I asked you about and we kind of veered away from. You played in the MEAC for the Howard Bison in the early 90s. Yes. What was your situation playing against SWAC teams? How well did you guys fare?
We had some success. I mean, you know, it was great because, you know, one of the guys that I got to play against, you want to play against the best, period. And I remember we got to play against Alcorn State, not once but twice. You know, the first time we played them, they came into Washington, D.C., and we had a good rivalry. And, you know, it was rivals. You had Aaron McNair and Jay Skywalker, and it was a great time for college football, I believe it. The second year we went to St. Louis, and we had a classic. So it was an environment like this, and it was the Aaron Sky Show. And people are still talking about those games wherever you go in the country. So you can't replace it. So, but I will say this. I'm undefeated against the SWAC.
You took on Steve McNair twice, and you beat him both times.
Beat him twice. I may be one of the few guys alive that can say that because he didn't lose many college football games. He was a great player. I just really think I had a better team. Even though on that team you had John Theory, who ended up being a 1st-round pick for the Chicago Bears, and you had Steve Aaron McNair. So it was a good rivalry there, and I take credit to all my teammates. As a quarterback, you get credit for the win, but I mean my teammates played tremendous.
Who had better numbers, you or Steve McNair?
I won.
That's all that makes a difference, huh?
I think 2 wins worked, but I mean, Steve did a 2-point conversion that I'll never forget. It was just incredible. We made like the whole defense miss and extend it out.
FAMU sends the punt team on. They will give the ball back over to Southern. Nothing doing on that return. Chad Harris is dropped at the 32-yard line. A return of 3 yards. Timeout on the field, 9:18 remaining. We're talking about some of the all-time greats in the history of HBCU football. When we come back, we will see Mr. Steve McNair. Well, we figured we'd show you the man who never defeated my partner, Jay Walker, in college. Steve McNair, as a collegiate playing in the SWAC, just a phenomenal career. Just absolutely fantastic. A man among boys, throwing for over 14,000 yards, 119 touchdowns. He played at Alcorn State between 1991 and 1994. Just an absolute dream of a player.
Wow, you see those moves? Look how small he was, too. So is it safe to say that I won the battle, but he won the war? A couple $1 million later.
He's
and,
still playing.
Yeah, still playing.
Those are the numbers. Would you rank your best quarterbacks in the history of black college football? Is Steve McNair #1?
No, that's tough. I mean, I think Doug is always going to be the one. I mean, Doug Williams is always going to be the one. The fact that he won a Super Bowl trophy, and you know, when he came out, people forget he was the first-round pick. You know, and he was the first one to become a first-round pick at quarterback. So I think Doug is always going to be the standard.
That's Warren Matthews, new quarterback into the game for Southern University.
Yeah, they went with the strong arm quarterback. But then I also, when you talk about the history of black college, I mean, you know, the Lord's Prayer. There's a guy that played quarterback at Tennessee State University called the Lord's Prayer, Eldridge Dickey. And everybody that saw him play said he was the one. He got drafted to the NFL, and they made him play wide receiver. And he made the NFL for a couple years as a wide receiver. But is that a great nickname, the Lord's Prayer?
That's not bad. Joe Adams, this is
Joe Adams,
747.
Shaq James, Sugar Shaq Harris. You know, that was my relation. You know, I was really close with Shaq growing up in Los Angeles. He and my dad were great friends, so he's my godfather. He's been mentoring me my whole life. And there've been so many. I mean, Willie Satellite Todd. You know, Todd could throw it. So
Bruce Eugene, just a couple of years ago at Grambling.
Yeah.
All right, timeout on the field as a player is down. That's Carlos Roll. Looks like he's dealing with cramps. Let's take a look at our All-State Good Hands play of the game, and it happened earlier in the second half. Roshan Jacobs with a diving catch.
You talk about showing good hands. Look at this version right here. Look at that. That's the catch with the hand. Catch the nose of the football, keep it off the turf. Aptly named the All-State Good Hands play of the game.
Jacobs, the transfer from Louisiana Monroe. Local boy coming home. He's actually born and raised in Baton Rouge. 6'4", 200 pounds.
You know, you talk about how he's a transfer. People ask me, you know, 1AA football compared to 1A football. I really do think the key is the transfers. I mean, in order to have a successful program, you have to have a transfer program in place. I mean, the difference between a 1A scholarship and a 1AA scholarship is not much. It's just the number of scholarships they give. So when I go around country, I'm not asking the 1A, 1AA coaches, you know, who are you recruiting? It's who do you have on campus now that's going to help you next year. And they've all got them. They've got a great pipeline. And one of the problems that Southern University has had is they feel like they're restricted because they can't get transfers in. So they feel, you know, the coaching staff says, wow, we would love to get some transfers in, but because of the way the system is set up, they're having difficulty getting transfers in, and that showed its head during camp because Southern lost 11 players that they were counting on for this upcoming season that were declared ineligible by the NC2A clearinghouse.
Yeah, you can just see what it is like to deal with cramps on a hot day, trying to play football with all that pads on.
You know, can you believe once upon a time I was young and dumb enough to do the same thing? 95-degree weather. I should have been like you. Put a suit and tie on, air-conditioned booth.
All right, we're talking quarterbacks and HBCU football. Let's kind of widen our perspective. Give me your top 5 quarterbacks this year in any level of college football.
Well, I like the kid in the white. You know, Colt Brennan has always been a guy that I love. Brian Brown's got the bloodlines. He's got the bloodlines. His brother Jeff, and he's been schooled well. Pat White, in terms of a college quarterback, is Mr. Excitement. He's got a great chance at the Heisman Trophy. John David Booty, he showed leadership. I mean, replacing, Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, John David Booty. There's been no letdown. And my little sleeper, most people don't put Colt McCoy in the top 5. I think the kid can play. I think he can play, and if Texas is going to have success, it's going to become because of Colt McCoy.
All right, now I got one guy that you didn't put on your reason for your list for one reason or another. I was talking to Todd McShay, the ESPN, the guy who's a big scouting guy, and Todd McShay insists that the first quarterback taken in next spring's draft is going to be the kid out of Kentucky, Andre Woodson. Big believer in Andre Woodson and what he can do at 6'4", 230 pounds.
Possibly, but he's got to become the best quarterback in the state of Kentucky first. Right now, that still belongs to Brown.
They're going to play it. You can catch it on ESPN Classic September 15th. Louisville against Kentucky, the battle for the Commonwealth Cup. Look at Warren Matthews. Where have you been all game long? Solid run around the left side, a pickup of 16 yards. On a 3rd and 10, they move the sticks.
And Warren Matthews is a big kid. I mean, 6'3", 230 pounds, very thick with a strong arm, but coming out of high school, lightly recruited because he was a basketball player. He was a big-time basketball prospect, committed to football now, and you know, there's no drop-off when you go from Brian Lee to Warren Matthews. The coaches are very high on his upside potential.
Last year, Southern University had to employ 3 different quarterbacks. C.J. Bird, J.C. Lewis, and Bryant Lee. This year, looks like they got at least 2 good ones, Bryant Lee, and they think that Warren Matthews has got a chance to be a real solid backup. This is Kendrick Smith with the carry. He's down at about the 46-yard line.
J.C. Lewis was the starter for 2 years, still on the roster. He's now the 3rd-string quarterback with hats off to J.C. Lewis. Kid went off and graduated in time in 4 years, and now he's working on a master's degree. And the coaches have said he's taking the third string role well. He's taking it well, so he's not a cancer on the team. And many Southern fans watched J.C. for many years, and he is committed to the program.
Here comes the blitz. Matthews keeps it, nothing doing. Yeah, just a final thought on J.C. Lewis, who had been a very good player and a good part of the program for a number of years. Basically what happened is he lost his job during spring ball. He was busy taking classes, took a full load of classes and then some, trying to finish up his undergraduate degree. And in that time, he had to miss spring practice, and he was passed on the depth chart by not only Warren Matthews, but also by Bryant Lee. And now he's third string as they head into the first game of the season.
Committed to those books, and you can never get upset with a guy for being committed to his education.
Currently in the master's program at Southern, mechanical engineering, something I know absolutely nothing about.
Basically sounds like he can build whatever he wants to.
There's a whistle. Someone comes out of the pack for FAMU with the football. This would be a big break if they rule it a fumble on the field, and they do. Possession goes to Florida A&M.
They needed that. They needed that in order to get back in this game, because if you allow Southern to punt the football and pin you back, you've got to go a long way. So that was a big turnover there.
Matthews has the ball ripped away by Vic Arboleta. That's basically the only thing that Southern couldn't do in that situation.
And they did. That's just the inexperience of Warren Matthews, pardon me, of not protecting the football.
Leon Camel now back in the game. And Camel calls his own number. Makes a couple of guys miss. And is down at the 47-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards. An exciting 6-yard run. I didn't think we were going to see Camel back.
I didn't think we would either. You know, the key now is going to be how long can he stay in the game, because normally those body cramps, once you get them, they come back. You know, you exert too much energy on one particular play, and on any given play, he can be removed from this football game again.
Camel trying to get his team over the hump. Down by 13. Has the ball knocked away. It's loose. And they're going to say it was tipped. His arm was going forward, and it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, they still insist on having Camel drop back in the pocket. I really like his mobility. I really like to see them have him attack the edge rather than standing in the pocket. I mean, at 5'6", wow. I mean, it's just really tough to throw the ball downfield efficiently when you're looking at your numbers, the number of your linemen every time.
Leon Camel, just 5 feet 6 inches tall, 170 pounds. Belgrade, Florida. His steamer is low. Is it caught? Are they going to say it's a catch? Yes, it is. Jarvis Funderburk, redshirt freshman from Pahokee, Florida, with that grab.
Yeah, wide receiver coach Gary Harrell does a good job with his wide receivers at Florida A&M. We've seen them several times today go down and make the tough catch, pulling the ball off the turf, and it looks like the officials are going to say it's not a catch, making this a crucial 4th down.
Yeah, the first official was overruled, and it's now 4th and 4. Camel wants a whole bunch more than 4. Incomplete. It's going to be a change of possession. Javaris Knight locked up defensively, and he had no chance at all. Good defensive play made. And Southern University will take over possession. Ronald Wade defensively was like glue on top of Javaris Knight.
Just a reminder, the MEAC SWAC Challenge Trophy presentation will take place on the field immediately following the game.
5:42 remaining. Florida A&M trying to hold up their end of the bargain. They're trailing by 13 against Southern.
Standard.
Southern University on top of Florida A&M. 33-20 is our score. 5:42 remaining in this one. A big reason why Southern on top is because of our U.S. Navy Defender of the Game, Glenn Bell. Congratulations to Glenn Bell, our U.S. Navy Defender of the Game. Interception just back earlier in this 4th quarter on a play in which there was a man open in the end zone. 7 tackles, pick, recovered a fumble. Busy day. Diving through the middle of the line is Darren Coates.
Coates got the party started in Speak Say. Opened up the game with a 90-yard touchdown run to bring the Jaguar fans on their feet. He had a good day thus far. You know, that's ultimate compliment. Coach, what do you like about Darren Coates? He's dependable. That means he knows what he's supposed to do.
Second down. Quarterback keeps it. Warren Matthews fumbled his last time with the football. This time grabs it with two hands and crosses the 50 and is down at the 47.
Wow, they put Warren Matthews back there. Big, bulky guy running quarterback draws. Reminds me of Tim Tebow down in Florida.
You think Tim Tebow's got a chance to really do things for the Gators this year?
I think so. I mean, he was special coming out of high school. I mean, you're talking about a guy that was the #1 recruit. I mean, it was a big deal. Actually, they were disappointed here at Alabama. They thought he was going to sign with Alabama. But, I mean, Tim Tebow is a special talent. I think the best is yet to come. They're trying to label him just a runner, but, you know, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. You don't get the #1 ranking as a high school prep quarterback unless you're the real deal. I think he'll be special.
Cameron Houston jumps on the back of Warren Matthews, and it's going to bring up a 4th down on the field. Southern, you'd imagine, would send on the punt team.
And one more thing on Tebow, he's got something that you just can't coach, that you just can't teach. He's got size.
He's a big boy.
You either have it or you don't. I mean, 6'5", 230 pounds. I mean, what else are you looking for? So he's got that size. So anytime you've got that type of size, that means you've got unlimited potential.
Josh Durant to punt for Southern.
4th down and 7. Josh Durant comes on. The freshman has huge shoes to fill. He's replacing Breck Ackley, who's the all-time leading scorer. Was a phenomenal punter as well for Southern. And so far, Josh Durant has done a good job both punting and place kicking. He did miss an extra point early, but for the most part, Pete Richardson has to be happy with number 17. Delay of game penalty is going to march him back 5 yards. He can work on his punting average now. Air it out. Durant gets up a low liner. Gregory Clark fields it at the 9. Zigs, zags, and is dropped at the 20-yard line. FAMU will have the football. 3:31 remaining, down by 13. The MEAC SWAC Challenge is brought to you by the U.S. Navy. Navy, accelerate your life. Beyond February, all states' commitment to your community every day. The Buffalo Rock Company, proud regional sponsors of the MEAC SWAC Challenge. And by Orville Redenbacher Popcorn. You'll like it better, or my name isn't Orville Redenbacher. That's actually the Barber Motorsports Park here in Birmingham, Alabama. I had no idea that the Barber Motorsports Park is right here. It's a world-class road racing facility. Did you know?
No, but I would have thought it would have been some. Talladega's right down the road, so obviously motorsports means a lot in the state of Alabama.
Okay.
Ricky Bobby.
2nd down and 10. Albert Chester in the game. Leon Campbell and he have been sharing time over the last couple of possessions. FAMU, they need to score, and scoring hurt. Open over the middle. Pass is complete. Upended at the 40-yard line after a good gainer is Adrian Smith.
Right now you see FAMU, it's, you know, it's do or die time. You got 2 minutes and 50 seconds. You've got to treat this like this is a true 2-minute drill. Get everybody up to the line of scrimmage, get them set, step on the gas pedal, and let's go. You know, time is your enemy. It's not your ally right now. So they've got to get a better sense of urgency right now, letting all these valuable seconds tick away. They're going to wish they had them back.
FAMU, they do have 2 timeouts remaining. To the freshman Sylvester out of the backfield. He is pushed out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Another 1st down for the Rattlers.
Great acceleration. Sylvester, I see why they say he's a special running back. I mean, it takes him no time to get from 0 to 60. I mean, as soon as he gets the ball in his hands, he's going full speed the first 2 steps. And he's got that extra quick step burst of speed.
Reuben Carter, the head coach for Florida A&M, actually played on this collegiate field back when he was a player for the Miami Hurricanes as a collegiate. Played against Bear Bryant's Alabama Crimson Tide. Chester gets out of the tackle. Still on his feet. Trying to make something out of nothing, and he does. It's another completion. This time, Knight with the catch. Inside the 35-yard line to the 34. No, he was out of bounds.
I think they got it right. It looked like he was bobbling that ball. He didn't catch it cleanly, but what a great job by Albert Chester II, showing great mobility, escapability. Was in the grasp of three. Looked like it was three Jaguar defensive linemen had him in his grasp, and he escaped. And not only did he escape the pressure, but he kept his eyes downfield. Let's take a look at his feet here. I just don't think he caught it. Oh, that's close. See there. Yeah, it looked like he stepped on the line.
Chester.
Look out.
To Sylvester again, and Sylvester is pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
One of those lookout balls right there. As soon as you throw it, oh, I'm sorry.
You would never do that, would you?
Yeah, it happens to the best of them.
Joe Manning was the man who pushed him out of bounds. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 8. Pivotal drive here for the FAMU Rattlers.
They need to attack the seams. I mean, there's a soft spot right up the left hash. And let's see if FAMU can discover the weakness of this zone and attack the seam and stick a little skinny post in there.
And what do you know? Another flag is down on the field. I'm telling you, Charles Williams is going to get a good night's sleep tonight. He's got his workout.
Yeah.
He has been all over this field blowing the whistle. His crew, they've had an eye for the tail. They haven't missed too many calls.
And these were two of the least penalized teams last year in their respective conferences.
FAMU, they've been penalized 12 times. Southern, 5 times.
Only 11 players on the field. 3rd down.
Yeah. As an added bonus, sometimes they throw flags and there's not even a flag. Pete Richardson. This is his contract year. He wants to make sure this victory stays in the bag. 3rd and 8. Oh, that ball deserved to be picked off. Andre Coleman, just a redshirt freshman. I'm going to say in the 4 years of his college career, he's never going to have a better chance to get a pick than that one right there.
Yeah, that was a gimme. You don't get those too often. You know, you got to take advantage of it, but that's why he plays defense. That's why he's not on the offense. And look at the folks, the human jukebox, showing they can step in groove as well. They got a lot to celebrate. Looks like the football team's got a great chance of bringing the victory back to Baton Rouge.
All right, this is it. 4th down and 8. FAMU down by 13. They have to convert this. Chester running out of time, has a man open, and it's caught by the freshman Sylvester. That'll keep the football in the hands of the Rattlers, and they still have a pulse.
Ask any defensive coordinator what they hate is a mobile quarterback. I mean, anytime you got a quarterback, this right here, you just buy time with your feet. I mean, you can't ask the defense to cover that long. And look at Chester just buying time with his feet, having good footwork, showing the athleticism to help keep the drive alive. Oh, no.
Double coverage back of the end zone. And it's incomplete, looking for Hayward.
Now, that tells you what type of player Willie Hayward is, though. I mean, he was well covered, and he still almost came down with that football.
Jay, you're going to be around both these conferences all season long. What do you expect to see out of Florida A&M and the MEAC?
I think black college in general, who's going to step up and replace Hampton? I mean, Hampton had a great run, 3-year title. They lost a lot. You know, they lost Justin Durant, they lost Prince and Shepard, they lost Coleman, Alonzo Coleman. So who's going to step up? I think the sleeper team in the MEAC conference is actually Morgan State. I think Coach Hill's loaded down there. And the team in the SWAC, Coach Comagese has Jackson State back to being Jackson State. They're doing a great job, so they want to see how they can do. And Alabama A&M, you know, it's first time in years that a team from Louisiana did not win the SWAC title. So the reign for Grambling and Southern came to an end last year. Can Alabama keep it up?
Southern, they call a timeout defensively, trying to get their bearings and get some air in those lungs. Up by 13. Well, the 2007 MEAC SWAC Step Correct Step Show Challenge was held last night. Fraternity and sorority chapters from the North and the South competing for cash prizes, bragging rights, and the chance to compete in the Step Correct Championship in New York City.
A little frat action, huh? You a frat guy?
If we kept that video long enough, would we have seen you get out there and do a little something?
I tell everybody I wasn't in a fraternity. I was too good a football player to be in a fraternity. That's my excuse. But
Chester, pass is complete. That's Knight who steps out of bounds. Well, there's so much to HBCUs that doesn't revolve around sports, and we just came up with a quick list, and in no particular order, some notable HBCU alums. How about Dr. Martin Luther King from Morehouse, Thurgood Marshall from your alma mater, the first African-American Supreme Court Justice. That's Thurgood Marshall. Oprah Winfrey from Tennessee State. She's kind of a big deal. The author Toni Morrison. Alex Haley wrote Roots.
And many, many more. I mean, you're leaving off a number of people there. You know, I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to just forget about somebody like let's say Tom Joyner?
Tom Joyner, okay.
Tom Joyner, or how about our very own Stan Verrett at ESPN? You know, Stan Verrett went to Howard.
He went to Howard.
So.
Recent ilk, how about Erykah Badu, the singer? She's from an HBCU. I think she's from
Grambling.
She's from Grambling.
Grambling. Common.
Who's now a big deal, hip-hop guy. He's from?
Common went to
Florida A&M.
Fam, you got me there. You got me there. What about the Commodores? Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie. Oh, he went to, you're going to tell me, I bet.
Tuskegee.
Tuskegee, okay.
So it goes on and on. We were talking about the different ones, and you know, that's the key. You know, it's more than just football. You've got great people going to these schools, and these are difference makers in society. So, you know, my thing, I love Howard. I always say, hey, there's Howard. You can take the Howard alumni, and you can take everybody else. You know, Howard, we've got, and I went to school with P. Diddy.
That's not bad.
Diddy, yeah. So
yeah,
we've got some. You got any more?
Were you guys tight?
I mean, not really, but
he knew who you were. Right? You were a big deal. You were a big man on campus.
Well, yeah, it was all right, but he was gone actually. By the time I got there, he had just left. He was just becoming P. Diddy.
Okay.
And then you got, I mean, so many more. Every school's got their famous alumni. It's no different at HBCUs.
Penalty marker down on the field. A little bit over a minute and a half remaining in this one. I think we should get together and buy Charles Williams dinner tonight. He's gassed.
I feel like I know him so well. I've just been watching him for 3.5 hours.
Number 60, offense. 10 yards, repeat, third down.
Anthony Collins doesn't agree with that call.
I've never known an offensive lineman that admit he held somebody. But if you're FAMU, you know, like we talked about, with the college rules being the way they are now, I mean, this drive started with 2 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock, so you can take advantage of the time. And if they can get a score on an onside kick, this game could be far from over, but you got to start off by getting the score first.
Well, things are getting hard. It's now 3rd down and 15. We need to get inside the 10-yard line and keep this drive going. We have 2 plays to do it. 5 receivers in the game. Chester scrambles. Hit hard and dropped at the 11. It's going to bring up a crucial 4th down and short. Clock continues to run.
That was great zone defense by Southern University. The 3-man rush actually got enough pressure on Chester to make him leave the pocket. Nowhere to go. So many bodies out there. You've got 3 people rushing, and you've got 8 defenders back there covering 5 wide receivers.
Jonathan Malveaux down on the field and in pain. Well, Division 1AA is no longer called 1AA. It's now called the Football Championship Subdivision. And Appalachian State ranked #1, and we discovered why today. They go into the Big House in Ann Arbor and knock off the 5th-ranked Michigan Wolverines. And we're talking 5th-ranked 1A football.
Yes. You think anybody's going to be trying to schedule another game with Appalachian State in the next couple of years? I think they just blew all their money games. You talk about Montana out there in the western side of 1AA where they throw the ball like crazy. And the Minutemen, they built a little powerhouse quietly up there. Youngstown State, traditional.
They played Ohio State today in Columbus and didn't have the same good fortune that Appalachian State had against a Big Ten team.
I covered North Dakota State last year and watched them dragged the University of Minnesota Gophers up and down the field. Lost at the last play, but wow, they dominated those guys.
On 4th down, the pass is complete. This will keep the drive alive. Jarvis Funderburk's had a solid game. Comes up Gimpy. So it's the 1st down. The clock will stop momentarily. Now it's moving again.
I mean, all the seconds that you're just wasting. I mean, you're just letting this stuff go.
I don't think Chester realizes that the clock's running.
I don't know if they realize this the whole drive. I mean, they've really been taking it easy running this 2-minute offense, which has taken a long time for them to get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's almost virtually impossible to score twice in this 21 seconds. They give it to Sylvester, who spins and scores, but it's probably going to be too little too late. There's only 16 seconds remaining, even if they do get the onside kick.
No time left. Yeah, it took them 15 seconds to run that play. They just lost 15 seconds.
Adrian Smith is down on the field for Florida A&M as Philip Sylvester. What about a coming out party for him? Sylvester, 14 carries. He's now over the century mark, 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, both on the ground. This is a guy playing in his first collegiate game.
They thought he was a miniature Herschel Walker. I mean, that tells you the type of physical physique he has. I mean, he's built like granite, and he's fast. And I mean, if they come up short today, it's no fault of Philip Sylvester. He's going to be a star on the 1AA level for years to come.
And Sylvester, his only option wasn't Florida A&M. There are a lot of other schools that were thinking about offering him scholarships. He just chose to go to FAMU.
Part of that tradition, you know, part of the tradition. You got a talent like this, you know, and that's the one thing that FAMU is. It's legacy. You know, you talk about Albert Chester II. His dad was on the team. You talk about the Rattlers' best defensive player, Tyrone McGriff. His dad was on the national championship team and is a member of the College Hall of Fame. So FAMU's got a unique advantage over most black colleges where they can say, we're legacy. And, you know, their goal for the team is strike the rock. I don't think they should abandon that legacy so quickly. You know, why don't you just say you want to become part of the rock? You know, you want to inscribe your name somewhere on that mantle because it's the FAMU tradition that makes FAMU so special. I'll tell you a college story. When I played down at FAMU, it's very intimidating. You know, when you go down there and you play at their stadium and, you know, you're there and they're hissing at you all day because they're Rattlers and you hear hisses, and then all of a sudden you tell people, you got people throwing your balls back saying, get out of Bob Hayes' end zone. Wow.
Bullet Bob Hayes, at one point known as the world's fastest human, played for Jake Gaither, Florida A&M.
And they've got athletic history in FAMU. I mean, you can just go through the who's who went to FAMU. You know, Greg Coleman, punter, Minnesota Vikings.
Vince Coleman.
Vince Coleman was a punter at FAMU as well. Actually led 1AA in punting average. Tell you what a great athlete he was. Earl Holmes. See, I played against Earl Holmes.
You ring your bell?
Did he?
And Florida A&M also a fantastic baseball program. Guys like Andre Dawson, Marquise Grissom. We talked about Vince Coleman. You can win some major league games with players like that.
Yes, you can. We got a basketball player in the NBA,
Jerome James.
Jerome James is from FAMU. So they take their sports seriously down there. And through it all, we talk about 1AA. There's been one HBCU to win a 1AA national championship in the Rattlers.
1978, the very first ever 1AA national championship. They defeated UMass as this extra point hits the left upright and goes through. Wesley Taylor, just a freshman. No, I'm sorry. Wesley Taylor, not a freshman, makes the extra point.
He's the X factor. He's the slash, the punter slash kicker. Got a good leg on him.
So Reuben Carter's team, it's come to this. They need to get this onside kick. If they don't, it's Katie bar the door.
Who won the Battle of the Bands? You're taking a look at the March 100. Who won the Battle of the Bands, Eric?
I think that's Melissa's call.
That's Melissa's call.
Yeah, Melissa, she's the one who's making that determination. It's not us. She's the one who's been down and dirty with those bands all day long. All right, here comes the hands team for both squads. FAMU FAMU, they need to recover this onside kick. Southern, they just need to smother it, and they'll pick up their first win of 2007. This is new in 2007. All levels of college football, the ball is kicked off from the 30-yard line. It's moved back 5 yards from the season ago. Here we go. And it looks like Southern, they have the football, and they're going to have this victory. Recovery made, and Jumore Stewart with the grab, and it's just going to be one final kneel down, and that's going to be it. And for the first time ever, someone from the SWAC is going to emerge victorious in the MEAC SWAC Challenge.
And had you told me early in this game that Southern was going to come away victorious, I would have thought that you didn't understand football. They were getting beat up, they were getting dominated, but the kids from Louisiana showed the mental toughness to make some adjustments at halftime and completely dominate FAMU in the second half.
Clock ticks off, and the Southern University Jaguars, they perform very well for their longtime head coach, Pete Richardson, and they win to advance to 1-0 on the year. FAMU, they just didn't have anything going at all for the majority of the second half.
And as you see Coach Richardson get the victory handshake, message to the Rattlers, a message to the Jaguar Nation, don't let them go anywhere. Don't let them go anywhere. You got one of the best coaches in 1AA football.
A 6-point win for Southern University, and the SWAC finally represents the third year MEAC SWAC Challenge. A team from the Southwestern Athletic Conference finally wins. Southern University singing a happy tune right now. They defeat the Florida A&M Rattlers by a final score of 33-27. For the first time ever, a team from the SWAC defeats a team from the MEAC in this event. Standing by with the happy head coach for Southern University, Pete Richardson, is Melissa Knowles. Melissa?
Thanks, Eric. That's right. I'm here with Coach Richardson. Now, Coach Richardson, tell me a little bit about how important it was to get this first win of the season.
Well, it's always important for a team to win the first game. We played a good football team. I thought FAM had some outstanding athletes. We made a few plays in the second half, just enough to win.
Now, you went into the halftime 19-20. You were down. What was the turning point?
Well, I think that we had to do some soul searching. We gave up some big plays in that first half to let them back in the game, and I think that showed a part of our senior leadership.
And how were your players able to overcome the humidity?
We're from Louisiana. Down there, the heat had been about 98, and the heat index been about 110, so we're used to that part of it.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Richardson. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Thank you, Melissa. And yeah, Pete Richardson, succinct. We're from Louisiana. We know about the heat. It's September. We're expecting it. No worries.
We know about the heat and flying roaches and all that other stuff that you get only when you go deep in the South.
All right, we talked about it in the first half of this game. Pete Richardson, this is his walk year. It's his third year of his 3-year contract, and there's a lot of pressure saying you need to win this year if you want to keep your job. It meant a whole heck of a lot to him, you'd imagine, the way his team came out in the second half and played for him.
Yeah, I mean, I told you that's the key. You know, whether or not does the team respect you, have you lost control of your team? Many times when you make coaching changes, it's because the coach loses control of the team. I don't think Coach Richardson has lost control of this team. They still believe in him. They believe in the system. He's one of the best coaches out there. He's got a proven track record. So why would you let a coach with all this experience, proven track record, I mean, we're talking championships, conference championship, black college national championship, why would you let him go into his contract year not sign? Be careful what you wish for. You just may get it.
Other side of the coin, the Southern Jaguars, they have gone 2 consecutive years with losing seasons, 4-5 in 2005, 5-6 just a season ago. So they are going to have to change things around and get a couple more wins this year. Do you see it happening from what you've seen on the field so far today?
I think so, because the SWAC is so wide open. If it wasn't a wide open SWAC conference and you had a team out there that was scaring everybody, like a couple years ago, Grambling was scaring everybody. You just didn't want to play them. It's so wide open. I don't want to disrespect Alabama A&M, the defending champion, or Arkansas Pine Bluff, but it's wide open. It's anybody's race, and, you know, you could have a champion that could come from Prairie View. I mean, I think Texas Southern's going to be very competitive as well. So these are teams that we've never talked about in the upper echelon of the SWAC conference because so much parity and it's a wide open conference race.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we will dissect all the highlights that are fit to air. Don't go anywhere. Southern University, 6-point win over FAMU. Well, these are happy days for the Human Jukebox, the marching band of Southern University. Southern is now 1-0 in the 2007 campaign as they defeat the Florida A&M Rattlers. In case you missed anything, folks, let's push the rewind button and take you to the first half highlights.
Wow, very exciting run here. First play from scrimmage for the Southern Jaguars. Darren Coates with the 90-yard touchdown scamper. Phenomenal job to set the tone for what was going to be a great day for the Jaguars. But then Florida A&M was not going to go away. They came back. Backup quarterback Leon Campbell with the bootleg on the outside to get to the end zone to give the Rattlers of Florida A&M a 7-6 lead. Southern missed the PAT. Then the freshman phenom, Philip Sylvester, 45-yard touchdown run. It looked as if FAMU was starting to gain some momentum and pull away. But then Southern's big-time wide receiver Gerard Landry, this 46-yard run after the catch touchdown between two Rattler defenders. FAMU wasn't done. Campbell put it up, jump ball. Javaris Knight got behind the safety in the corner for a 40-yard touchdown scamper to give Florida A&M the lead at halftime, 20-12.
We move to the second half, and this is when Southern, they came out with their hair on fire. Darren Coates between the tackles, 14-yard touchdown run that closed the gap. Then Bryant Lee calls his own number, and the sophomore crosses the goal line. That would give Southern the lead. He had to be carried off the field. He was cramping up, but it was the kind of a victory carry-off.
Yeah, that was the willpower there. And what Southern really did was they came out and beat up on FAMU in the second half. You see all these touchdowns, just hard running in between the tackles. They dominate in the second half. If you see the total stats here, each team had 4 turnovers. Very sloppy played game in the first half. And at the end of the day, it was the power of Southern University able to overcome the sure natural strength of Florida A&M to give the Jaguars and Coach Pete Richardson the win in this MEAC SWAC challenge.
And one thing that both teams did in the second half is they really buttoned down the big plays. In the first half alone, we saw 4 touchdowns of 40 yards or more. That didn't happen in the second half. But what did happen was Southern. They just were a totally different team in the second half than they were in the first.
They buckled down. They came in, made some halftime adjustments, and they stopped trying to play finesse football. And they realized we can't run from the stronger team in Florida A&M. We've got to fight fire with fire. They muscled up, and they had a great second half.
Melissa is standing by with the quarterback for Southern University, Bryant Lee. Melissa?
That's right. Now, Brian, you went into this game, and you guys weren't winning at first. What did you do at halftime to make that change?
Well, you know, the coaches were telling us that we were still in the game, and we knew that we were still in the game. So we just had to come out second half and execute.
And how did you deal with that humidity today?
You know, everybody was on our team was cramping up a little bit, but we fought through it. The trainers did what they had to do to take the cramps out of us so we get back on the field.
Talk to me a little bit about that touchdown. You were carried off the field by your teammates. Seems like there's some kind of brotherhood there. Describe that.
Yeah, we everybody on the team real close, offense and defense. And I cramped up a little bit on my calf muscle, so they carried me off.
All right, tell me what to expect for the rest of the season.
SWAC win for the SWAC championship.
All right. All right, thanks so much. Good. Have a good rest of the year. All right, guys, that'll do it for me. Back to you.
Melissa, thank you so much. Well, Southern University, they've still got work to do. After this win, they're going to have to go back to Baton Rouge, practice up, and then make the pilgrimage up to the Windy City of Chicago. Next week, they take on the Delta Devils of Mississippi Valley State in the Chicago Classic at Soldier Field. We'll take another quick timeout and come back and wrap things up with a pretty bow.
After battling the elements for 128 years, our wood stains can handle pretty much anything. Cabot, our performance is legendary.
Someone's about to lose their Stellan Miller highlight privileges. Can I borrow that for a second? The hamburger, $11.50. Are you for real? Step aside, mon ami. Pardon moi. Excuse us. See, this beer is about helping people live the high life. It's a good, honest beer at a tasty price. Mess with the high life, and the high life will mess with you. $11.50 for a hamburger. Y'all must be crazy.
the band plays on. Florida A&M, they lose against Southern. 33-27 is the score, but even though the players have left the field, the Florida A&M Marching 100, they're still playing. Let's listen in. All right, that's the Marching 100. They got their work cut in today. They earned their scholarship, fantastic performances, and well, the same can be said for the Human Jukebox. Let's listen one last time to Southern University as their marching band, the Human Jukebox, gives us a rousing send-off. Well, that's going to do it. A long day here in the Magic City ends with a flourish as the Human Jukebox sends us to FIBA, America's Championship Basketball, coming your way. Sure hope you enjoyed the last couple of hours as the MEAC SWAC Challenge this year is won by the SWAC. Southern, they hold off Florida A&M and win by a final score of 33-27. Coming up, don't forget, in moments, we're going to send you to the 2007 FIBA America's Championship right here on ESPN Classic. We'll have two semifinal games coming your way. First, it's the United States against Puerto Rico. Then at 9, it's Argentina against Brazil. For my partner, Jay Walker.